Mariners are back home, getting set to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks, who come in with a 31-24 record on the season. They're in second place in the NL West. Mariners looking to get to 500, one game under coming into this one, 28-29 on the season. They're going to send George Kirby to the hill. He faces off against Zach Gallen. You can catch all of the action right here starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:10 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 7:10. Meanwhile, Milwaukee reliever Abner Uribe received a one-game suspension and an undisclosed fine for his inappropriate actions toward the St. Louis Cardinals dugout earlier this week, and they'll be making that announcement today. He is appealing the suspension, so he will be available tonight when the Brewers open up a 3-game series against the Houston Astros.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob live from T-Mobile Park. Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Happy Friday to everybody out there. For those of you going to Victory Hall to see us, we're not there. We're here. We're in the broadcast booth. So turn around. You get there's that on. There
we go. I was brought up to not make fun of that. It's not funny.
It's not funny, the on button.
Yeah. Matt Johnson. It's not that I'm raw. It's just that he always was like, if somebody doesn't turn their mic on, don't mention it. It's not funny.
Well, who made Matt Johnson the arbiter of what is and is not appropriate on radio, huh?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But, we're up here in the booth.
What do you like better?
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of cool to be amongst the people, the fans out there, but we can hear in here. You know, they got the music playing when we're at Victory Hall, and sometimes it gets a little loud in the mics.
Yeah.
So it can be a bit of a challenge. But here we're, it's a controlled environment. We're watching some of the Diamondbacks take batting practice. Currently, the roof is closed.
I'd prefer it if there were some lawnmowers going out there and weed eaters and whatnot.
Looks like they've already done their work, man.
Looks really good.
The design on the field is looking sharp and clean.
Remember that little patch out there? I think Lefko sent the picture. It's starting to grow in there.
Yeah, the score. Send a picture of what was going on.
Yeah, I said Dave would hate that. See that patch out there?
Yeah.
And
right
discoloration.
Field.
Yeah, last week it was like kind of almost yellow.
It looked bad last week.
Maybe that's where Tucker's been having his way. I saw him running around out there earlier. So that could be damage he's done.
Yeah. Some people don't realize that dog pee does kill grass.
Now, I always heard
Sometimes
that it
you
was
have to put up a hillbilly fence.
I always heard it was the female dog. Is that not true? Is it both?
I've heard people say that it's not, the females don't kill the grass. And I think it's because, okay, let's not get into
You know who would know? Our texters. They would know. They know everything.
That's a great idea. 866-979-3776.
Except that'd be funny.
It is Friday, which means texts are happening today at 5:45. You can get those in at 866-979-3776. But, yeah, for any of the experts out there, is that an old wives' tale that it's the female dog that will brown the yard to kill the grass and it's not the male? I always heard that, but I don't
I always heard the other way around.
That it was the male dog and not the female
right.
dog. All right. Yeah. Now somebody's going to text and go, you dummies, it's both of them.
Well, you would think so, right? But, whoever was a male and he killed grass.
You've got first-hand
God rest
evidence.
his soul. So, yeah. But, this is a pretty cool view here, looking down on the field. But, yeah, I keep saying this. This is going to be the series where we look back and go, this is where the Mariners took off.
Yeah, well, then that's one of the questions I was asking. Is this going to be a homestand we're going to look at one way or the other, good or bad, down the road and go, that was the turning point. Right. Hopefully it's for good. Hopefully it's, hey, is that really where they took off? They swept the A's. They had the second-place team in the Diamondbacks who've been playing very well. They're 31-24 in a very tough division, maybe the toughest in all of baseball.
Except for the lower end.
Yeah, the lower. Actually, if we're just going by records, it's the NL Central because every team is over 500.
Right.
Even the last place team. At least they were going into yesterday. But yeah, it feels like this could be one of those because you're playing a very good team in the Diamondbacks, the first three, and then you're playing a very bad team on the back end in the Mets, who are coming in for 3 games. So it just feels like this is kind of a turning. They can keep that momentum going from the A series and. This is big, and I think they can. Take 2 of 3 from this team here, and I think you must take at least 2 of 3 from the Mets. Because they're being beaten by everybody. You don't let them come to your home field and get well.
Yeah, they are not doing it right, and which we'll probably get into later. But one of those teams that did spend a lot of money, and didn't really work out for them. But yeah, they're 23-33. So. But yeah, this is a big one just because they come from a really tough division. They're 31-24. Yes, they've feasted on inferior opponents from their own division, but yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what to think. I think more than anything, it's more about the Mariners and them being consistent and everybody, clicking at the same time, and then that's we're gonna have to wait till we get arguably the 2 most important players, certainly offensively, back off of the IL. But yeah, I keep waiting for this team to just take off, and the pitching's been really fascinating. This whole thing with the piggyback and what they're getting, and just keeping your eye on the fact that really what it's about is that you have too many good starting pitchers. Which, how many times have we been like, okay, maybe 3 guys? We always talk about it being like an offensive line, maybe 2 guys, 3 guys, but
Mariners have 5.5.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, Can you imagine if there was a controversy on who was going to start at right guard for the Seahawks?
If you had 5.5 options and they were all really good,
or if they piggyback those guys.
Yeah. Well, they kind of do, right? I guess not on the line. You don't really see them pulling them out.
Yeah, every once in a while, you'll see somebody take a series or 2 off, or and then sometimes I'm trying to remember who the last guy was, where they kind of worked him in a little bit, and was like, okay, you got like a quarter just to see.
Was that Haynes?
Maybe Christian Haynes. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, Sunday's going to be all eyes on it because that's the next piggyback. Right, so everybody's going to be looking at it. Does it work? How does Bryce look? How does Luis look? I'm just curious, and I certainly don't want this to happen by any stretch, but I'm just curious to see how it goes if Bryce or whoever I think Bryce is actually starting that day, he gets touched up early. Do you bring in Luis early, or do you start using relievers and then go to Luis? Or how do they manage that? Because it kind of makes everything go out the window. But the other thing I was keeping an eye on last night, Astros won again. Astros have won 7 of 10, and they're 2.5 games back. They looked like they were being left for dead. Everything was wrong. Everybody's hurt. They're not performing. Their pitching is terrible. They're 2.5 games back, and they've won 7 of 10. It's just that team that they worry me when I look at the division.
I totally agree, man. You see what Yordan Alvarez did in that series. They took 3 out of 4 from at Texas, but he hit 5 home runs in that series.
Yeah, 3 games in a row, I think.
Yep.
Did he hit one last night?
The first night he had 1, and then he didn't get one last night,
okay.
But he had 2 the next 2 nights. So yeah, he's killing it, and right now he's batting .307 with 20 home runs, which is tied for second.
He's got 20 home runs in May.
Yeah,
God.
And RBIs at 9th.
That's RBI, Dave.
39. Didn't I say that?
I don't know. I want the guy that was texting in yesterday to jump to attention.
It's going to be like clubhouse and locker room.
Yeah, that's right. Although I feel like that one's now null and void because there's just way too many players when being interviewed, baseball players that refer to the locker room.
Yeah.
You're going to challenge the guys that are actually there? You can't. You're going to go up and tell them, hey, dummy, you don't know ball. It's a clubhouse.
That's right.
So I feel like that one, you can't get on anybody for that one anymore. It's all done.
The other thing about Alvarez real quick that I did not mention, over 1,000 OPS. He's 3rd. So,
yeah,
but, I mean, look, he's one player, and they don't have Altuve out there, and their pitching sucks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but they did take 3 of 4 from Texas, and, they took a couple from Chicago.
Man. Unbelievable. Hey, coming up at 2:30, Ryon Healy, who's now part of the Mariners broadcast team, will join us here in the booth at 2:30. Paul Moyer will join us at 3 o'clock for his weekly conversation. Nick Piecoro, who's the Diamondbacks beat writer for the Arizona Republic, will join us at 4 p.m. And then, of course, Mean Text coming up at 5:45 today. Again, 866-979-3776. Meanwhile, we'll catch you up on everything else happening in the sports world. Dive into one pressing positional question for the Mariners. That is coming up next as we continue live from T-Mobile Park with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed. Julio.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without two of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know there is hope. After only 3 weeks of treatment, 86% of patients report a reduction in symptoms. Northwest Ketamine Clinics was the first ketamine clinic in the Northwest, opened 9 years ago. They now have locations in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue, with more than 50,000 treatments given. Find reviews and video testimonials from real patients on their website, including Brandon.
To anyone thinking about giving it a try, if you have depression, ADHD, bipolar, any of those things feel like they would vastly benefit from it.
Everyone's path to healing is different. Schedule a free consultation today to find out if ketamine therapy is right for you. They have immediate availability, so you can get started this week. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Thinking about investing in home upgrades? Worry less and save more with Snohomish PUD's network of trade allies. These are trusted local contractors who can install heat pumps, insulation, new windows, and more. And when you work with a PUD trade ally, you can unlock instant rebates. This means lower upfront costs, lower energy bills, and work done by vetted pros. Find a PUD trade ally at snowpud.com/rebates.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
You've got better things to do this summer than deal with old appliances. That's why right now at Lowe's, you can still get in on Memorial Day savings and get up to 45% off select major appliances. Plus, get up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. It's time to upgrade what's outdated. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/3. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Do you have a car, truck, or SUV you're willing to sell? How about an RV or commercial vehicle? Wayscar Ford in Auburn will buy it from you. And when they resell your old vehicle, they'll split the profit with you 50-50. That's right. You'll get paid twice. I'm here with Mark Clymer of Wayscar Ford. Mark, I'm not surprised your vehicle profit sharing program's doing well. It's a fantastic offer.
It sure is, Stacy. We've been buying a lot of cars off this thanks to your advertising. And I got to tell you, customers are loving it. They're getting top dollar for their vehicle up front. They're getting paid right now. And the best part is when we resell that vehicle, they're getting 50% of the profit. A lot of people have vehicles right now that are sitting around and they're worth a lot of money and they're saying, you know, what the heck? I want to sell it. I don't want to deal with it myself, but I don't want to give it away either. This is the perfect opportunity for them to get the most they can for the car without having to go through the hassle of selling it themselves.
Exclusively at Wayscar Ford, celebrating 104 years in Auburn. WayscarFord.com. That's WayscarFord.com.
How would you like to invest in the Seattle real estate market, one of the hottest and most stable regions in the country, and achieve a great rate of return on your investment without the effort of sourcing a deal, the expense and time of building permits, or all the hassles that come with being a landlord? Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Invest in the stability and ease of Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund. Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 HD2.
Interesting start to the show.
Guess we didn't want to hear the rest of what he had to say. It is Wyman and Bob live from T-Mobile Park, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. We got some interesting texts coming in. You got some that don't even apply to this show, which are always fun, and some you wish didn't apply to the show. But, mean text coming up at 5:45 today. I like this one that just says, do you not know the scientific concentration of urine? As a matter of fact, I do not.
I do not.
I feel ashamed. I should know that. We all should know that. If you're just tuning in and wondering what that's about, we were talking about Dave's lawn and dogs peeing on it, killing the lawn. And then we got into the question of, well, I had always heard it was just female dogs versus male dogs. Then we got everybody texting in and clarifying that.
Well, and somebody actually saying in lower concentration that it actually is a fertilizer for grass.
I like how they termed it, too. You ever notice the bright green ring around the death? the death being the brown spot, I guess.
Yeah, maybe somebody's talking into their phone. Might say something else.
It's kind of funny. Yeah. And then this out of nowhere, Colt Emerson is not Julio Rodriguez. Everyone needs to stop talking it up. Colt Emerson is not Shohei Ohtani.
I don't think anybody said that.
I don't recall either of those two names coming up.
No.
Any of those three names, actually. I don't think we mentioned Colt, Julio, or Shohei. So,
well, I think with him, to be fair, we've talked a fair amount about it because it's really hard for a guy that's that young to come up and be as mature as he is and have some of the numbers that he has right now. So, yeah, I mean, in that regard.
But. It's weird. Our texters, I love them. Keep them coming. 866-979-3776. Let's take two.
It's George Kirby and Zach Gallen on the mound tonight. Reminder, a 7:10 first pitch. We can see the bright flashing scoreboard. It's fireworks night coming up after the game. That's why the later start time. Against a Diamondbacks team that's won 5 in a row, tied for the longest active streak in baseball. Just kind of funny to note how much things can change in 2 years. So the last time Zach Gallen pitched here, he was coming off an all-star season the year before when he pitched here in the all-star game. He opened up the series in 2024 by giving up a first pitch home run to Josh Rojas.
Josh Rojas.
Ah, wow. He was a friend of the show.
Yeah,
definitely a friend of the show.
Josh.
He came up and talked to us up here in the booth, and we had some fun talking about his pitching forays, right?
That's right.
But yeah, hopefully he has, Zach Gallen I'm talking about, has the same experience tonight. Hopefully the Mariners jump on him early. The offense feeling good coming off that A's series. It's just it'd be nice to see them. You beat a good team in the A's who have been good. I wouldn't say they're a great team, but they were in first place, and that's what you need to do. You swept them. So if you can come back and win this series against a team that's rolling right now, that's nothing but great. That's not one you qualify and go, yeah, but they were this, or yeah. Somebody yesterday was talking about, oh, okay, you beat the Triple A's. I'm like, they were in first place, man, and you swept them. Mm-hmm. That's hard to do. I don't care if you're playing the Rockies. It's hard to sweep a team.
Well, and then the pitching was phenomenal because that's a pretty good offensive team.
Yeah.
The A's, and, you kept them in check. Arizona, I'm just looking at their pitching numbers. They're like middle of the road as far as ERA, quality starts, number 8. Opponent batting average, middle of the pack. So we'll see what they got. But I just think it's more about the Mariners finding a consistent groove, no matter who's out there on the mound.
There are a lot of things happening in baseball right now and tonight. We'll run through them quickly here. Chance for the Mariners to open up ground this weekend because the A's are hosting the Yankees. Well, the Astros, who you guys mentioned, they've been hot lately. They have 3 against the Brewers. And then because it's Friday, it's Cade Anderson's start day. He's going to make his 9th start at AA Arkansas. Then actually, credit a texter here. We don't do this often, but they pointed out that Washington State is currently leading the number 8 national seed Oregon State in the first day of the NCAA baseball tournament. Cougs haven't made the tournament since 2010. Day 1 here, they have the bases loaded, top of the 8 at Oregon State, and they're up 3-2.
Good for the Cougs, man. They don't get a lot of love when it comes to sports.
No.
I mean, that's the reality. They really don't, whether it's talking about basketball or football. So
they're in the Pac-2.
Yeah, it's a tough slog to be a Cougs fan. I've got respect for their resolve. So their baseball team, good on them. And then as far as this weekend goes, apparently we're Yankees fans and we're Brewers fans.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I was going to say though about Oregon State, I mean they've always had a great baseball program there. It's just kind of random. The Corvallis, Oregon is the place you want to go if you want to be on a good college baseball team. Lots of I think Michael Conforto went there. There's been lots of good players that have come through the Mariner system from Oregon State. So go Cougs.
Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife-prostate. One other thing I was thinking about last night, I'm wondering if and when we're going to see a position change in the infield. That was the big story for a bit, that JP went to the team and said, look, I'll play third base. I know that, obviously Colt Emerson is the shortstop of the future. He's no Shohei. He's no Julio, Dave. Yeah. But he's the shortstop of the future. I'm willing to make that move. And then we see JP taking ground balls before games at third base. I'm wondering if they have a timeline. Would we see that in this homestand? I know some of it is, when they feel like his arm is fully where it needs to be in terms of healing, but I don't know. Do you think we'll see it soon or at all?
I don't know. This has been such an interesting year just because, obviously the piggyback thing, but then, and some of the injuries and moving guys around. You see Colt Emerson out there playing third base. I mean, it's just been and
playing it well, by the way.
Yeah, he looks good. So, yeah, it's just, and then JP volunteering to go over to third. So, yeah, there's a lot of things. I think we called it drama. It's not so much drama. It's just interesting, things you didn't expect going into this season that are going on right now.
Coming up, Ryon Healy is back on Mariners TV broadcast for this homestand. We'll get his perspective on everything that's happening with his team. He's going to join us here live in the booth from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without 2 of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
Summer is here, and it's time to break through your weight loss frustrations. Hey, it's Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and we have a proven system that can help you lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Whether you need a nutrition plan to complement your GLP injections, or you're like many of our clients who don't want to worry about ongoing monthly costs, giving yourself shots, or uncomfortable side effects. Either way, our program provides the support, accountability, and structured nutrition plan so you can achieve your results for the long term. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Look, this plan does work. It's Mike Salk here, and I used Eastside Weight Loss Clinic to lose 35 pounds. Just recently, I heard about one of our listeners who lost 40 pounds. How about that? The plan will teach you lifelong habits to continue eating the food you love while losing weight.
We've helped over 4,000 people lose 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 8 weeks. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do the program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free phone consultation online at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life. And you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech. Plus, gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
The throw to first, and it's in time. Holy smokes, what a play by J.P. Crawford.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike 3.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
It is gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
Don't miss 2 great interleague matchups at T-Mobile Park. This weekend, Julio and the Mariners are squaring off against Corbin Carroll and the D-backs. Then the action continues as Juan Soto and the Mets come to town Monday through Wednesday. Get your tickets for these 2-star powered series at mariners.com.
This Memorial Day, feel the freedom of lower energy bills. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is taking $525 off every window, plus $1,000 off every patio or entry door. Plus, enjoy 12 months free financing. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
I started Davis Law Group in 1994 to fight for the underdog. And as our team has grown, we've stayed true to that mission. Today, Davis Law Group is known for providing excellent service and even better results. Visit WashingtonAccidentBooks.com to get your free book on car accident law.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
You've got better things to do this summer than deal with old appliances. That's why right now at Lowe's, you can still get in on Memorial Day savings and get up to 45% off select major appliances. Plus, get up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. It's time to upgrade what's outdated. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/3. While supplies last, selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Joining us here in the broadcast booth, a member of the Mariners broadcast team and a former member of the Seattle Mariners is with us. You're going to check him out this weekend over the homestand. 6 games. 6 games of this guy, Ryon Healy, with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing wonderful. Excited to do this pop quiz with you guys before we dive into this homestand.
Pop quiz.
Yeah.
We're going to get you warmed up.
But none of them are baseball questions. It's all about the Aura ring.
Let's go. We can start comparing some sleep scores, some readiness, and it's going to completely go away after this week of sleep with the late schedule, trying to sleep in a little bit. It's going to be nice.
I know more about that ring than I ever wanted to know after you
Can I send you my affiliate link so I get a couple bucks of commission?
That'd be awesome. Hey, by the way, we have the superior Ryan. Broadcast.
Oh, see, there's a shot at Ryan Roland
Smith.
Smith.
Can't do that, guys. This is year 1. This is game 6 today. I'm trying to make friends around here.
More than anything, it's just anytime we get a chance to take a shot at hyphen, we're going to take it.
That's fair.
That's fair. By the way, before we get into the Mariners, was broadcasting part of the plan when you were a player? Did you ever think you'd be on this side of things, or did you just kind of fall into this?
I honestly fell into it. I tried to make a lot of plans, especially when baseball ended. I thought I had it all figured out and found out quickly that I didn't. Fortunately for me, the Mariners found me in January this year and kind of presented the opportunity that I didn't understand at first. I thought it was like, hey, come up and do some pre- and post game and try it out. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, no, you're actually going to be in the booth with Aaron Goldsmith. And I said, oh, that's a little bit different of an obligation and a responsibility than I thought it was. But it scared the absolute crap out of me, which means I had to try it and go all in. And that's kind of the journey I'm on right now is second stint up here. Feel a little bit better than the first one, but still have those butterflies that I enjoy because I haven't felt many of those since playing.
As a player, though, did you like the media, or were you like, oh, look at these guys hanging in the clubhouse. I don't want to deal with these goofballs.
How did I play the night before?
Is that
because that's what dictated it. If I played well, I'm talking to the media. If I'm not playing well, I'm usually not talking to the media. But to your original question, I felt like I always had a professional communication and relationship with the media. If you ask different sources around, they always enjoyed talking to me because I gave them honest answers. It wasn't just the cliche answers.
Yeah.
And I was always willing to have a conversation if they wanted to talk to me. But I felt like I treated the media right. I was never disrespectful, and it's part of the reason why I got this opportunity.
So you're from California originally, and then how did you get to Oregon?
George Horton, who was from Southern California as well, was the head coach at Cal State Fullerton for years, recruited heavily in the Southern California area. Yeah. So they came out and saw me play in my junior year of high school. They caught me at a really great time, brought me up to Oregon in June or July of that 2009 year when, of course, the weather is gorgeous. So you're sold. The facilities, everything speaks for itself. But the biggest thing that I loved was the team was unestablished. The program was brand new, just came back around, and it had rich history but not recent success. Yeah. And I loved the opportunity and the challenge to imprint my part of my journey into that program and just be a part of something that was bigger than it was before. And it is that. They're hosting a regional this weekend, actually, just down the road. So, they've been a national powerhouse. They haven't really broken through to the next level, but I have a feeling this year is going to be a really big baseball year for a couple Pacific Northwest teams.
Oregon State's always good, right? I mean,
why would you say that?
He's a duck.
That was a shot.
I don't care if you talk about
That was an unintentional shot right there that you just took, and I didn't even deserve that.
We're off to a rough start here. This is going.
Hey, Oregon State's pretty good. You went to Oregon, didn't you?
I don't care if you talk about the Cal Berkeley. That's okay. Those rivalries are long gone.
They offered me. I didn't want to go there, though.
Cal sucks.
I didn't say that. You did.
I'm not talking about Cal Raleigh, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, do you view the game differently now that you're looking at it from this position, or how differently do you view it, if at all, versus being a player when you're maybe it's hard to be objective when you're in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. Now you're watching it from a distance. You're analyzing. That's now your job. Is it different for you? Do you see it differently?
Yeah, sure. think it's more of a 30,000-foot view of the entirety of the organization, not just the players on the field at that point in time. It's, what are the different trends and movements, things that I didn't really feel until I got to AA baseball, when you started to see how roster decisions at the major leagues can have a trickle-down effect to AAA, AA. And then even coming here, when you're a major leaguer, you unfortunately end up just becoming this selfish being where you're only worried about yourself, and I don't think that's a healthy trait for any of us to adopt as humans. And there's a lot of players that will leave the game and take that with them, and it's hard to adapt to a community and actually be willing to give something to others, whether it's their time, their knowledge, energy. And I think that I struggle with that as a player. So this opportunity to come into the booth and back in Major League Baseball with a completely different chance to do it differently, it's been really nice to see how does the bullpen management happen, what's the manager thinking, how does the front office make decisions off who's hot in AAA, and then who does it affect in the major leagues, all the different nuances that go into winning in the major leagues. It's so much bigger than you as one individual.
All right, well, let's get to the piggyback thing, because we've asked Ryan Roland Smith.
We went to Oregon State to the piggyback. Let's go, baby. Come on.
Just winning him over. The hard questions right now. But, yeah, I mean, like Ryan Roland Smith was very opinionated about it, as was Charlie Furbush. And so, but, it seems to be working out. I guess being a football guy, I'm like, wait, there's lots of complaining because we have too many good starting pitchers. But that is kind of a major break in routine, right, for a starter to be in that situation.
I think that goes back to my last answer of the starting pitchers are used to their routine. Every fifth day, it's their day. And then every day in between that is what they are doing to prepare for that next day. It sounds like, from my perspective, the frustration from the two pitchers involved, meaning Castillo and Miller, is the inconsistency of the two opportunities that have happened. Meaning Miller started the first one, he had a chance to push through to the sixth inning, and then all of a sudden the umpire got hurt, and then he went back out, and then Castillo came in. Castillo's like, okay, cool, so if I pitch well, I can keep going. He gets pulled in the fourth, and then you bring Miller in, and he's frustrated because, personally, I earned the opportunity to do that. That's fair. It's a fair point, and I don't think there's a winning solution, for this organization, unfortunately. And it does present a kind of a bleeding wound right now of like, hey, media, go attack this and take some of the truthful comments these pitchers are sharing and voice your opinion on it. When realistically, all these guys want to go do is compete and help their team win. Regardless if it's a starter, reliever, just tell us what we're supposed to do and we'll go do it. Yeah. The bottleneck for all this, though, is what's the offense going to do on those days? Are they going to score enough runs? Are they going to get enough hits? Are they going to give the bullpen the actual day off? And then we'll give the runway long enough for the starting pitchers to keep their pitch counts up, because that's the whole point of this. How do they keep both of these starting pitchers stretched between 65 and 90 pitches so that when something happens, they have that big league ready fifth starter to slot in?
Yeah, and I think you just touched on, we get a lot of people texting in, well, why don't they just go six-man? Seems very easy, but something we've been repeating, and you just did as well, is that these are creatures of habit. And baseball players, above any other sport, in my experience, are creatures of habit. Here's what I do, here's what I eat, it doesn't even matter if we're talking about pitchers, and they're even more so. So the idea that now, instead of every fifth day, and here's when I throw on the side, here's the rehab, now everything gets thrown out of whack, especially if there's a day off in there somewhere, and you've got a Colt Emerson, or he had, or Hancock, I'm sorry. Hancock had a 7-day gap between starts, which I think people on the outside look at and go, oh, more rest, even better. It's not, though.
It's a lot of thinking.
It's a lot of thinking, and some guys lose their sharpness. Yeah. I mean, it's just it's on the surface, it sounds simple. Just go six-man. But our guy John Morosi yesterday said, well, they did it once, and if everybody was in favor of it, they would have kept it going.
Sure.
But they did it once.
Why affect the whole rotation at that point? Why throw all six of them off the normal routine?
Yeah.
It's not necessarily punishment in isolation for Castillo and Miller, but it is two pitchers that have worked themselves into that role between injuries and maybe underperforming for what this staff has done up to this point. So I think there is some personal accountability within this, and that's hard to do as a player at the major leagues because you're such a competitor. But I do think that does exist in this equation. I know there's a really long road trip with a lot of games in a row coming, soon for this team after this homestand. So curious how the Mariners choose to attack that. Do they stretch it out to a six-man to give each of those two guys their own days? I don't know what they're going to do with that, but there's opportunity to have a little bit of ebb and flow there.
As far as the rotation as it stands, is there a pitcher that you're like, this guy is set to take off. But like just recently, you've seen him, do some things that are special that you think maybe he can set himself apart. I look at Bryce Miller. I love watching him pitch and just what he does. But probably right now it's Hancock is your number one. We like to play, name the rotation, put, your 1 through 5. We probably do that once every 3 weeks. But right now, who is somebody that you think is really standing out?
Well, I'm going to say somebody to mention. I feel like Brian Wu had some human moments early in this season that no Mariners fans saw in the entire 2025 season until the very end when he had the pec strain. He's had some starts where you will, oh no, is the fastball hittable now? And if the fastball becomes hittable, what does he do? How do you game plan? I think he looks like he's settling in. I think the pitch mix and the location of the secondary pitches, especially that slider sweeper combo, his ability to locate that, to be able to play the 4-seamer off the top and the bottom of the zone and then sprinkling the 2-seamer in different spots has been really nice. I think Emerson Hancock deserves so much respect and might play himself into an all-star game here, to be honest with you, with how he's taken the arm angle adjustment, had consistency with the pitch repertoire, and really just gone out there and filled the strike zone up. Logan Gilbert looks like he's coming back around. There's so much positive, and I think the reason why I don't have an easy answer for you right now is because each week presents a new guy that says, ooh, that's the ace. Oh, wait, no, maybe he's the ace this week. And it's a really nice internal competition going on between this starting pitching staff of who's going to outdo the next guy.
Which of those guys in the rotation would give you the hardest time, just based on the way they pitch? Maybe I'm not saying they're the best or worst, but just your game versus what they bring.
Hancock would have been really tough for me. I think the guy going tonight, George Kirby, their ability to throw a right-on-right 2-seamer out of nowhere and run it in kind of off for me, I was right a hitter off my right kneecap with good velocity. You're talking, 96 to 98 miles an hour. They can run that, especially Kirby with that angle. He can get really up above you, and then that 2-seamer has really good depth and has some run to it. And the sweeper that they both throw off of that can be a big problem. I think the 4-seam fastball is Wu. It looks like an invisible, but I was always really good at getting on top of those 4-seam fastballs. I do see some swings off of Logan Gilbert's splitter, though, that give me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies at times. Like, remember the opening series against Aaron Judge? And he threw him 3 straight splitters that moved 3 different directions. I was like, how do you handle that? Like, how do you game plan for that as a hitter? You can't.
Yeah, tell us about Cal and just, and your experience with catchers and how, you mentioned Emerson Hancock changing the arm angle, and I think Cal had something to do with that. He was talking to him about don't be too pitcherish, just go out and be an athlete, and, what he brings and what they're missing from him, but just, what that means as far as, Cal, you always feel like he's almost like having a coach out on the field.
100%, and I felt like a few of the starting pitchers, it was noticeable that first series when Cal was gone and not catching. Logan Gilbert was someone that stood out to me in particular. The confidence that Cal brings for a guy like Logan, the relationship that they share together, not just personally but on the field, the pitch calling and the trust that goes with that. It's one less thing that these pitchers have to think about. Yes, they're going to game plan, they're going to do their own homework, but when you have a guy like Cal Raleigh behind the plate who is reading the hitters, knows the situation, and knows these hitters at the back of their hand, you can almost take your brain off of, what pitch do I throw next? And you hear the pitch come, and you're like, okay, let's just commit and execute. It makes their lives as pitchers so much simpler. So he's definitely missing on the defensive front a lot.
Sounds like that's definitely the case with Wu. He's always like, because you have some guys that maybe shake him off a little bit, but it sounds like Brian Wu is like, whatever Cal puts up there.
I think a lot of guys have that, though, in this rotation. But, why would you question that when we've seen what Cal can bring to this team and to the game overall, how much he can impact it?
Yeah, I gotta give Pareda credit, though. I think defensively, he might be the best of the 3. I'm being honest.
I highlighted that on Tuesday when I hopped on a radio show, talked about just the energy that he brings. Pareda hit his first home run as well at the last homestand. There was a moment in the 9th inning he was catching Munoz, and Munoz, he wanted like a 1-1 changeup just below the zone, and he executed it perfectly, swing and miss, and there was a fist pump, like just the pure excitement, and then it was a slider for strike 3. How in it he is, pitch to pitch, connecting with the pitchers, like
he's got a cannon arm,
yes,
too.
But the youth movement that brings of just like the business stuff doesn't bother me yet. I'm in the major leagues. I've worked my entire life for this dream. I know how good this team can be, and I just want to contribute anywhere I can. And if that's my energy, if that's my defense, I'm going to give it everything I have tonight, and Preda 100% has done that so far.
Hey, Ryan, we were just talking about the Astros and whether they're done or not, but they still have guys like Yordan Alvarez. But as far as in American League West right now, who is the biggest threat right now?
I think we're looking at them, quite frankly. I've always felt like the A's didn't have the pitching to sustain 162. I felt like the defensive holes that showed up last year, missing Jacob Wilson as well, I think was big. They showed a lot of human moments on the defensive side this weekend, the Athletics, and I think gave the Mariners some free bases, some free outs, and kudos to the Mariners offense, capitalized on it tremendously. I don't ever count out the Astros just because of the history, and I think the Rangers have the pitching staff to stay in it all year long. It's more so what their offense is going to do. But I think everyone's always known that the Mariners have the most complete roster, and the frustration that stemmed from a lot of the fans and media up to this point is they've never shown on the field in a regular season game what they were truly capable of until this week in Sacramento. How long does that last? Does it carry over to this week? Because they have a Diamondbacks team coming in here that's really, really hot.
Two guys we highlighted yesterday that interestingly enough have not gotten a ton of attention for their offense, and that's Randy Arozarena, who's off to a tremendous start offensively, and then Julio. Julio's arguably off to the best start of his career. He's a guy who we talk about every year. Oh, he starts slow. Look at what he does in April. He's hitting 218, blah, blah, blah. He hit almost 300 in April this year. Not a lot of damage, only 2 home runs. But then you fast forward to this month, average came down a little bit, but the damage went up. He's tied a career high with home runs in a month, and maybe he exceeds it in the next 3 nights. But I don't feel like we've spent a lot of time talking about either one until recently. But just give me a thought on what you've seen from those two guys.
Part of the reason why I don't think those two have been talked about enough is because it's so easy to be mad as a fan when there's things that are going wrong in different facets of the team.
Fans don't get mad. They're rational, reasonable.
No, but it's understandable. Like, there's expectations. You're coming off a 2025 campaign where they lost Game 7 of a CS, where you feel like it could have broke through to the World Series. And then,
you
gave outs away, and then they made improvements in the overall roster, and then the injuries happen. Your three-headed monster, your 2, 3, 4 guys can't get it done. Starting pitching away, so it's just so easy to be mad. But I felt like there have always been some positive signs that this team has shown. There's always been some individuals that were performing really well, and Randy is at the top of that list. Puts together some really consistent at-bats, and there are certainly at-bats where you watch Randy and go, what just happened? And I know I've been there where you're like, that at-bat was over before I ever stepped in there.
Right.
But Randy's ability to make adjustments pitch to pitch and at-bat to at-bat within a game is really impressive to me. He's a true professional. If you look at his career resume, it speaks for itself of what the production is going to be. I feel like there's always room for growth in different areas, but Randy's been able to be an anchor for this team through some of the inconsistencies, and excited to see him compete this weekend.
Yeah, and Julio, I thought maybe last year in the offseason we were talking about him going, well, maybe it's just going to be this way for him his whole career, that he's going to start off slow. But, for now, and, lots of questions from, again, our texters who know everything about baseball, that are saying he's not a superstar. He's just not. And, he's proven that wrong. And I just, you don't see him like chasing as much as he did in the beginning of the season in years prior. It just, what do you think clicked for him? Is it just maturity? Or because, look, clicked for him. He was an all-star. But people have really high expectations for him, and it's got to make it tough for him.
Julio's 25 years old?
Yep.
He's already 3 to 4 years in the big leagues?
Yep.
I would say maturity is a fair word there. Just the ability to understand what the league's trying to do to you as a hitter. Yeah. I remember when I was up here in the middle of April, you started to see the at-bats, and he had that on-base streak that was just compounding and looked really, really good. He was putting together great at-bats, and it wasn't the home runs. And, of course, everyone wanted to say, he's not hitting homers yet. I'm like, yeah, but he's getting on base.
Yeah.
And if the Mariners can get more traffic on the base pass on a consistent basis, then guess what? Now more opportunities with runners scoring position come up, and someone can be the hero. Whether it's Julio or not, he's going to get the job done. He's going to be a catalyst for this offense. I felt like he committed to something that was so fundamental when things were going south after the first 2 to 3 weeks of just get him in my zone. If I can swing at my pitch, good things will happen. And then it was a couple base hits there. Remember, he hit the home run against Houston to right center in the J-Rod squad zone out there. And then all of a sudden, here he goes. And the home runs didn't show up on the next road trip. And everyone's worried. I've always felt like the power was there, but he wasn't worried about it. He was more focused on how can I command every single at-bat like a professional, how can I swing at my pitch and, take the other ones and be willing to take a walk. And when that happened, things started to turn around for this team slowly but surely.
How old were you when you made your major league debut?
24.
24. What Colt Emerson, 20 years old. We've seen him at times in the box look a little overmatched. Other times looks really comfortable. Defensively, I think he's looked rock solid out there.
Can you pull the at-bats up when he looks overmatched to me? Because even the ones where he punches out on 3 pitches, I'm like, wow, that was really well executed. I mean, it wasn't even him overmatched. It was just pitchers are really good in the big league. So I don't see the overmatch that I hear people say, even though it's a small percentage of that even statement. I don't see it.
Right.
I see his ability to spoil tough pitches. I see his ability to take what the pitcher's giving him. And yes, when the pitchers execute 3 pitches in a row, he might be out. But that's part of it. It's happening to Cole Young right now as well. He doesn't look like the same version of himself that showed up in April. The league's making adjustments. They'll do the same to Colt.
Yeah.
But I feel like Colt just has that slower heartbeat that is settled into the big leagues and much quicker than most players do. Whether the contract helps with that, whether the consistency of reps he got in spring training helps with that, the development of the Mariners organization, I think, deserves a ton of credit to draft a high school hitter and get him big league ready that quickly. But a lot of this comes to, just what his upbringing was and how much he prepared for this moment before it was even presented and how he's able to take it in stride day in and day out. He just looks like he belongs no matter what position he's playing and no matter where he's hitting the lineup. He just looks like he belongs to be in the big leagues.
Do you want to see that switch in the infield? We know JP went to the team and said, look, I'll play third base. This guy's the future. I get it. And we've seen JP in pregame taking balls at third base, and I don't know if they're waiting for the arm to be totally 100% or how would you feel about that switch? It's not like it's problematic. I mean, JP's range is diminished over time, but do you look at it as, hey, they need to make this move because it's hurting? Because it doesn't feel like it's hurting them right now.
No, I don't think a need is. I think if it was a need, it would have happened already, quite frankly. I think it's more about giving Colt the runway to continue that comfort that he already showed up here with, to allow himself to get adapted to third base. What was interesting to me is he didn't play a ton of third base in AAA. You thought if they would be preparing him for that, he'd played there 4 to 5 days a week, but he was playing short and playing it tremendously. So maybe they have a thought in their back of their head of, let's give it some time, let's see where this progresses, let's see how JP does. And to JP's credit, I feel like he's done a tremendous job on the offensive side filling into that leadoff spot that Brendan Donovan was supposed to anchor down for this team. And he put together some really consistent at-bats. The batting average isn't all the way there, but he's getting on base.
Yeah.
He's creating traffic, and he's having really tough at-bats and expanding pitchers' pitch counts early in games. His willingness, though, to move to third base and to be the leader to go say, I'm willing to do this if it helps the team win, I think speaks volumes. And I know some people say, it's a hollow statement. It's not. I know JP is the only guy on this roster that I played with. It's the furthest thing from a hollow statement. He means every single word that he said and that got out to the media. And he wants what's best for this team, whether it's him playing shortstop or not.
It just seems like the culture is just fantastic in this locker room or clubhouse. Which one is it, right? we get in trouble for calling it a locker room, but now the players are calling it locker room.
To each their own. Who doesn't like the locker room statement?
Yeah.
People, the hardcores, old school is like, it's not a locker room, it's a clubhouse.
Yeah. What's in there? What do they have a bunch of in there?
Lockers.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then is it a room or is it a house?
it's a room.
All right, there we have our answer for all the texters now.
Coming from a big leaguer.
What do you find in there?
Yeah.
Ryan played. No, but as far as the culture, it just seems like it's fantastic. You talked about JP, Cal. You heard the statements like from Bryce Miller. When he was trying to talk about Luis and, that first time they did the piggyback and there was some consternation there. But it just seems like a phenomenal clubhouse as far as, the culture goes here.
And you know who deserves the credit for that, right? Dan Wilson. I mean, he lived in one of those for a long, long time, and he dabbled in the media, and he's been around this organization forever. He knows how important that is, and that's what he's nourishing in there. To expect him to be perfect with everything he does, I think, is ridiculous. None of us are perfect, quite frankly. I think he's under a little bit bigger microscope than most of us, to be honest with you. But I think if he does one thing really, really well, it's the culture building and the way that he's able to communicate with his players and demonstrate the trust that he has in his players with how he conducts his moves throughout the course of the game. That, they get some scrutiny because of the results of the game, but I think it's showing the players regardless of how you're performing, when you're on this team, when you're in this dugout and you're available, I'm going to use you in the spots that we designed this roster for. That's how much trust that I have in you, that at some point you will come through for this team, and I'm going to continue to show you that, I believe in you personally, meaning Dan, until someone else makes that decision.
Ryon Healy is going to be on the broadcast throughout this homestand. It's going to be great to hear you up in the booth and great to talk to you here, man. Really appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks for coming over, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go, everybody. Ryon Healy, part of the Mariners broadcast. Check him out over this homestand. Meanwhile, we've got plenty of Mariners questions for this guy and some Seahawks offseason thoughts as well. Paul Moyer will join us next for his weekly conversation as we continue live from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed. Julio.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without two of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home and auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Dave Wyman here to talk about a revolutionary treatment for prostate cancer at Swedish called CyberKnife. I want to bring in Dr. Moyer, medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center with the most experienced prostate cancer treatment team in the Northwest. Dr. Moyer, is CyberKnife a new treatment?
You know, the CyberKnife technology is not new. The system has been around for more than a decade and has helped thousands of men with prostate cancer.
What can patients expect from CyberKnife treatment?
Well, the CyberKnife system is designed to help you gain control over your prostate cancer in the shortest number of treatments, and with the least impact on your romantic life and on your urinary and bowel function. The result? Well, you get back to a normal, healthy life faster.
To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate or give them a call, 206-320-7187. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners looking to keep the good vibes going as they are fresh off the sweep of the first place, or they were the first place A's. Now the Mariners are in first place in the AL West, looking to hang on to that distinction with a win tonight against the visiting Arizona Diamondbacks, who have been red hot lately, taking 11 of their last 13 games. They came against two teams in the Giants and the Rockies, but they got it done. They are 31-24 on the season. Mariners sending George Kirby to the hill in Game 1 tonight. He'll face off against Zach Gallen going for the D-backs. You can catch it all right here starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show. 7:10 first pitch. Seattle Sports on 7:10.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
I want to thank Ryon Healy once again, who joined us in the previous segment, in case you guys just tuned in and missed that conversation. Really good stuff from Ryon Healy. Our first chance to talk to him, former Mariner, now member of the broadcast booth. Looks like he could still play.
I know, man. Yeah, he really does. And he did a great job.
He's got one of those hard handshakes, too.
I like that.
You like that?
Like that. Yeah. There was a certain defensive player that we had on the show this year that had kind of the dead fish handshake, and I was like, we got to work on that, man.
Really? Remember Kristen Michael? He'd give you that.
That was ridiculous.
That was a ridiculous handshake.
It was. I remember one time, I won't say who it was, but he's a fairly obnoxious media person that I had just broken my hand, and I met him for the first time, and he gave me the super strong handshake, and I was like, come on, dude.
Somebody out here.
Huh?
Somebody out here.
You want me to narrow it down, don't you, Bob?
I do, yeah. I want to see if I can guess who it is.
Yeah, we'll work on that one in the break.
Yeah, I just remember Kristen Michael, and the other guy who had maybe the hardest handshake I ever felt was Adrian Peterson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it was like, he's going to let you know. He's going to let you know I got a grip. So we're going to catch up with Paul Moyer hopefully here shortly for his weekly conversation. In the meantime, we were is he there? Or
we are efforting. We have communication back and forth. We are getting him in a spot where he has good service.
Oh, okay.
He is there apparently. I remember when he was like on the other side of the mountain.
Where is he?
Time.
Is he in the state?
Well, I don't know, but I sent you a text, and
he's got thoughts.
He's raring to come on.
He's got thoughts.
Raring.
Is he there?
Yeah, there we go.
Should we do the honor of playing his open here?
Oh, yeah. Can we fire up the open again now?
This is the moment many wait for.
The most entertaining.
A man of wisdom, a man of experience, Dave.
The most informative.
To bring light to a dark subject. To bring positivity to a negative world.
The incredible Paul Moyer.
Moyer out.
The incredible Paul Moyer joins us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook hotline from parts unknown. Where are you, Paul?
Well, I started a new job at NWPS, and I'm sitting here with my president of the company, and we're going through who I'm going to be calling on here shortly. So,
is that in Washington?
Yep, Seattle.
And okay.
Yeah. They're going to be a director of business development for them. Very excited. Great firm. Really, really excited. So that was it. But I thought, you know what? I should probably let him finish our meeting before I take your phone call.
Oh, yeah. You're new employer.
We get it. We know where we stand.
They pay you more than we do.
Yeah.
I got you. Paul, let's start with the Mariners. We'll get into some Seahawks, but I'm just curious from your perspective if you feel like the Mariners organization is doing, in your opinion, what's best for the M's to win and doing what's best for the Mariner fans.
Oh, you're setting me up right from the get-go, aren't you? Look, I feel better. You know, anytime you sweep a team, we all feel better about it. But and I thought a week ago they hit rock bottom, and I thought it was actually good for Dan Wilson and this organization. And I think for Dan, learning to be a leader it's not something that just happens, right? You've got to go through each experience, and he's dealing with some stuff, and I think it's been good. I think, sometimes you just got to over communicate things. I mean, I was listening to you guys talk about that. Do I think the Mariners are doing everything they can for us? The answer is no. I think they're still trying to worry more about feelings and whatever the word I'm trying to say here. Look, in reality, if they really want to put the very best team out there, you put the 5 best pitchers, out there, and you let them compete. And you put, to me, Colt Emerson, you put him now at shortstop. You look the ground that he and Cole Young can cover up the middle there. That's a difference maker. You go ahead, and when Donovan comes back, you put him in left and maybe rotate around with Rayleigh, and I would put a Rosarina in there too, and you just swirl those around from a DH standpoint in left field. But you got to put the very best players out there right now because the players demand it, and that's why when Miller and Castillo, when they were doing that, what you guys call stacking, whatever it was. Piggyback. Yeah, something about that phrase does not work for me. Don't like it. But whatever that phrase is, they both told you, and I think the other players agree with that. And as former, professional players, you want the best opportunity to win. And I just think they hit that rock bottom last week. I think the communication line's better. Look, and my frustration when I say to the fans, my frustration's even with their TV broadcast. I go, what are we doing? I've got Ryan Rowland-Smith and Dave Valley, and they're not the experts. I'm like, why aren't they on every broadcast? They need to be. And I like Angie a ton. I think she's super talented, but she doesn't have an element that they bring. I thought one of the most entertaining pieces was when Dave Valley and Jay Buhner were on the air. I think it was against Houston. And there was a whole inning that went by, and there wasn't one pitch, one at-bat that was analyzed. They were just telling stories. And you were watching the game, and the game was still unfolding, but it was so entertaining. And I just think, look, they owe it to the fans to put the best product, broadcast, the players on the field to win, everything. And, I just think this is a bit of a wake-up call for them because while the fans are really loyal, they'll let you know when they're not.
Paul, who do you have your eye on right now as far as a player that's maybe underrated, underappreciated? We talked a lot about Randy Rosarena in that regard, maybe even Julio as well. But who is like your favorite player right now to watch that's just making big strides?
I think Robles is very underrated. Matter of fact, if you really want to start a controversy, you want to put the best team out there, I think he's a better center fielder than Julio. Now, Julio's a good outfielder. He's super athletic. But you go look at the jumps and the angles that Robles takes out there and the speed. They both are fast, but what Robles does is he runs 100 miles or 100%, 100 miles an hour at everything. And Julio, he's more of a glider to things. But if you had Robles at center field, the way he gets a jump and covers, from center to right to left, and then you put Julio out and right, I think that would be the very best outfield. But I think Robles is one of those. I mean, when he came back and you immediately saw his athletic ability, I mean, he looks like an athlete out there. I think he's a missing piece that we needed. And it's certainly since he's come back. I mean, he's hit well over 300, isn't he, right now? I mean, he's helped us defensively. I mean, those 2 catches he had the other night, I mean, people forget what he did for us to get us in the playoffs last year. So, yeah, that would be one of mine. I think Colt Emerson is going to be so fun. And I think Cole Young. I mean, we just got a great mix of youth and veterans. And I think when we get Cal Raleigh back and Donovan back, this team's ready to take off.
Robles hitting 292 right now. So he's at obviously a very limited number. One game can swing it wildly in one direction or the other because he's only had 24 at-bats at this point. But, yeah, I agree with you on his defense. He's clearly the best defender amongst the group that plays right field. I think it's not even a conversation. I don't agree he's better than Julio, but, whatever. I think he's when you've got him out there in right, Julio in center, that's a lot of ground and a lot of confidence you have as a pitcher to pitch to contact, if you will, if they're going to get the ball in the air. But I'm curious, what is it when we look at this team, Paul, when we saw what they did against the A's, and they were a completely different team than the one we saw play the Royals. And Dave will tell you, I was despondent after that series. I was just so agitated by that series. But
I was like, we're going to hear about this series for the rest of the season.
I was so mad, Paul. I was just so mad because the Royals were so bad, and they've since gone on a losing streak since that point. Anyway, but seeing what they as complete as they were against the A's, meaning their starting pitching was great, their offense was great, they played cleaner defense, so they've shown they're capable. Why do you think they've been so inconsistent? Is there anything that stands out to you as to it's not talent, it's not lack thereof? I know they're missing some guys, but we just saw what they did, still missing those guys. So why do you think they've been so inconsistent?
Well, I'll start with defense. That's something that we had been really good at the last few years. Is defense and pitching. Winning one-run games. Our defense took a major hit, and I think moving Donovan to third base, it was the right decision. But he's not a natural great third baseman. I mean, JP with the struggles he's had at shortstop. I think what's really helped them is putting Colt Emerson at third. I mean, he covers ground. He makes things look easy. I think I don't know if it's helped JP because he's had some pretty crazy throws from short, but I do think it's made him say, look, I got to be at my best every day. And I'm sure he's thinking that anyways, but there's always another level you can take it to. And then, obviously what Cole Young's done. So I think defensively is big. The other one is, look, the role players, the right-handed batters versus lefties. I mean, it just hasn't worked out until this past series. It finally clicked. At one point I was going, you got to throw away this process. It's not working. And now I'm thinking, all right, well, maybe it does work. But
are you talking about the platoon or what? What are you talking about?
Yeah. Just, again, all of a sudden, you see Garver and, Rob got, finally some hits and a home run. And it's just, to me, and then Robles as well. I mean, we need a right-handed batter that can actually hit left-handers. And you can't rely always on your role players, the guys that you brought in for that. You need your starters. And so I just thought we were missing a right-handed, batter too. So I think that's the biggest part. The pitching's always been there. Obviously Hancock it's ERA ace now. It almost looks like it. He's been by far the most consistent. He really hasn't had but maybe one bad game. So I just think it's a combination of, hey, if you're going to have these role players when we're up against lefties, they've got to contribute. We finally got some contribution from those guys this past series.
Paul, who is a pitcher right now that, outside of Emerson Hancock, he's just been phenomenal, but that you see that's maybe on the rise, or maybe, we'll look back, a month from now and go, wow, this guy's on a heater right now, other than Emerson Hancock right now?
Well, Hancock's the one, right? I think Gilbert has finally put together, back-to-backer. He's been inconsistent. I think I heard you talk about it, Bob, where, he has a good outing, he has, an okay outing, a good outing, maybe a bad outing.
Yeah.
I think that's just, again, we're starting to see more consistency there. But, Kirby's had tough moments. Wu's had a few tough moments. But they're all so good. It's, the reversion to the mean is real. Those guys are going to eventually settle in. I think we're seeing it. This team has a chance to go on a crazy run. Will they? I don't know. The bats have been inconsistent. One series, does that tell everything we need to know about them? Yeah, the A's, are the A's really going to be there at the end of the year? I don't think so. They got really good, young batters, and they can hurt you, but I think their pitching's not quite up to the elite level. Look, I think it's just time for the Mariners. They want here's the ultimate positive part of this. We're in first place with everything that's gone on, injuries, some really, I think, challenging decisions that, Dan Wilson and the rest of the top brass have made. Coming out woeful with, our top three paid guys who just couldn't even hit. They were all under 200 at one point. So I think things are just finally starting to be normalized. The pitching is what it is. We got Spire back, you got Brash. We're pretty healthy in the pitching staff. And so now it's just getting all the hitters back and to settle into roles. That's the other one. I always say, if they don't know their role, man, it's hard to perform as a player. And I get it, they're professional athletes, but it's still hard. They're still human beings. And I think maybe we're finally at that point where everybody does know their role, and hopefully they've set that up for Castillo and Miller too.
Yeah, as far as Castillo goes, I've sort of been along your line of thinking where, look, this if you're going to treat it the way you should, and you're putting your best five out there, he has not been one of your best five. It doesn't take away from who he's been and what he's meant to the organization and the kind of teammate he is. This is not a personal thing, but if we're just going business, he would be coming out of the bullpen for me. And I'm very curious to see how the piggyback goes this Sunday, and how everybody performs. But it just feels like, we're sort of disrupting the whole apple cart to appease one guy. The idea of a six-man rotation, nobody seems to like that. We run it by Charlie Furbush and Ryan Rowland-Smith and even Ryon Healy, and it really is much more disruptive than I think people give credit for. So what would you be in favor of him coming out of the bullpen? You need him. He's valuable because guys get hurt. We saw it last year. So I'm not advocating for getting rid of the guy by any stretch, but I don't know about, how long I'd want to do the piggyback thing, and I would like maybe a more traditional 1 through 5. Luis, you're our long guy out of the bullpen, and the second somebody goes down or has to take some time off or soggy arm or whatever, you're our guy.
Yeah, I'm going to call it stacking because, again, I don't like the piggyback, but stacking, I've been researching all these peptides on how to stack them, so I'm going to stay in that category.
Maybe you've been talking to Mike McDonald too much with the stacking thing. Maybe that's what that's coming from.
We're going to, that too, and it seemed to work, so let's stay with it. Look, I'm putting him in the bullpen, and here's why. I think this stacking thing that they're doing right now, one, it hurts the bullpen. We have one less bullpen guy now because of that. And, that means it really has to be perfect how it lays out. Because if all of a sudden Miller pitches and Castillo struggles and you got to bring another one or two bullpen guys in there, we're one less bullpen guy with, keeping 6 starters. The other thing is, let him work himself out of it. This is a competitive game. All of a sudden he comes out of the bullpen and he threw like he did his last, I guess it wasn't a start. Yeah, was it a start? Yeah, he started. No, I can't remember. Yeah, he started his last one.
Yeah.
See how confusing that is? That's not fair to us. You eventually will play yourself back into it. And I've heard everybody say, the reason why we're in this is he didn't pitch well. And I agree. And so you haven't pitched well. You're not one of our top 5 guys right now. You're going to come out of the bullpen. And that doesn't mean you won't come back to be a starter. And we know somebody's going to get nicked up at some point. So, yeah, and I think the roles, everybody will feel better about it. And I'm curious, too, what they do Sunday. I think the communication lines have certainly been opened, and I think there won't be any surprises for Miller and Castillo. But it doesn't matter. They've already told you. I guess it doesn't matter there either. That's what you're the manager for. But they've already told you, we don't like this. And, if it works, great. But I don't see it working long term. I think one of them is going to have to eventually get into the bullpen.
Hey, Paul, as far as the Diamondbacks, we've been talking about how they won 11 of their last 13. They were against the same 2 teams, Colorado, who's 20-37, and San Francisco, 22-34. But you could also make the argument that they did exactly what you should do to crappy teams. But what do you think about the Diamondbacks and what you've seen from them? They're playing in a pretty tough division.
Yeah, no, that is very, very tough. San Diego, obviously, and L.A., and then throw in Arizona. 3 teams have been good for, the last 3 or 4 years, too. I think the Mariners they're at the point that they beat the best record in baseball. They won that series, I believe, against Atlanta. We compete against anybody. This is, a lot of people say, well, there's not a lot of good teams. I said, well, I would say there's not a lot of bad teams this year. There's a few bad teams. There's 2 or 3 really bad teams. There's 2 or 3 really good teams. And then everybody else is clumped up around the 500 mark. I don't think the Mariners are that 500 team. I think they're the tier above it. So this is a good one for us because, we took care of business against Arizona, against the A's. It's important that, because we're home, right? I'm sorry, you guys have been out of the loop. We're home this weekend against them, aren't we?
Yeah.
Look, it's just time to start pulling away from the West. And we're better. Look, Arizona's a good team now. I mean, they got some good young players. And my good friend Dale Hahn, his son Corey Hahn, who a lot of people know was at Arizona State. In his first game at Arizona State, he slid into second base baseball player. He was Mr. California, just an incredible human being and athlete. First game he played in, he breaks his neck and he's paralyzed from the chest down. Arizona Diamondbacks end up drafting him, and now he's a part of their organization. He's had their pro player personnel part on their team. So I know a little bit about him, and we follow and we text each other on it. So this will be the one series that I won't be rooting for the Diamondbacks.
Wow. That's a really cool story. I mean, not a sad story, but really cool on the part of the D-backs, to say the very least. That's awesome. Paul,
they've done a great job.
Great to catch up with you. Great to hear your voice as always. Have a phenomenal weekend, and we will talk again next week.
I appreciate you guys, Dave. I'll see you out there Monday.
Sounds good, Paul. Thanks.
All right,
there you go, everybody. There's Paul Moyer with us each and every week. If you guys missed any part of that conversation, you'll be able to find it on the podcast page after the show. Just go to seattlesports.com, click the podcast tab, click on our picture. It's right there waiting. And don't forget to click subscribe. It's totally free. Shows up for you every day. You don't have to remember a thing. So it's a beautiful process. Meanwhile, after watching Gray Zabel have immediate success last year, should the expectations be the same this season for Jadarian Price? We'll weigh in on that coming up next, live from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed. Julio.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without two of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now, Harley Exteriors, and I recently sat down with them, and I was really excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with on window and door replacements, and Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio door or entry door, 12-month and 18-month, no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. And if that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. So schedule a consultation just like I did. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel. A $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Around here, we see a lot of people head out. No matter where they're going, we just help make sure they're ready. Before you hit the road, get a pre-trip safety check from Les Schwab Tires. It's free. Plus, this May, save up to $200 on select sets of 4 tires, including all-terrain, highway, all-season, and all-weather. So go ahead. Explore with confidence. Les Schwab Tires. We're here to help you take the long way. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Nothing beats soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa, except getting it for an incredible price during our Summer to Remember rebate event. Save up to $4,500 on the best hot tub you can own. Saltwater soaking, incredible savings, sleeping better, feeling better. What are you waiting for? OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
I've always wanted to learn French, But the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision RLE.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, thanks once again to Paul Moyer, who joined us in the previous segment. If you guys missed that conversation with Paul, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab, click on our picture. It's right there. And again, a reminder, click subscribe because it's totally free and it just shows up for you. And as one of our listeners said, that's the best part about listening to your show. I don't have to remember anything. So another mean text that came in earlier in the week. And speaking of that, we got mean text coming up today at 5:45. So you got a little bit of time to get creative with those. How they been doing so far, Lefko?
Oh, come on.
You dazzled?
No.
Impressed? No? Underwhelmed?
I don't even know if they comprehend English. I'm not sure what language they're trying to text in. So
yeah. We do get a lot of texts. I won't say a lot. We do get a handful of texts where we always default to it's got to be voice to text because we'll see words that don't fit and just like, wait, what is this? What are they trying to say here? We're trying to decipher. So we're giving them the benefit of the doubt, saying they're not that dumb. This is voice to text.
Sometimes I'll do a voice to text and then forget that the speaker thing is still on, and then I'll send it to someone.
Yeah, we know.
And then you're cursing at people in traffic.
Yeah, it'll be like, get the hell out of the way. What? Did you just start driving? Do you have a license?
You bleepity bleep bleep.
Gets sent. So.
Oh, goodness. All right. Well, the text line is there for you, 866-979-3776. To get creative with your mean text coming up at 5:45 today. Again, at 6 o'clock, we turn you over to the Mariners pregame show. Meanwhile, taking a look at the Seahawks, it was, last year, if we're just talking about rookies, not even talking about the position they play, but just rookies, Gray Zabel set the bar pretty high for a rookie to come in and immediately have an impact. And I would say he absolutely did that. Not saying he was perfect every single play, every game, but he did not look like a rookie to me out there. He didn't have very many rookie moments where you're going, okay, it's going to happen. He's going to learn. I mean, there were moments, but he, in my opinion, you tell me if you agree or disagree, Dave, I think he set the bar pretty high.
Well, we weren't really talking about him, right?
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can say about an offensive lineman. So, I saw some things out of him. I'll never forget in the mock game where he got beat by Leonard Williams, and he somehow recovered. And he did that a number of times. And just his instincts on angles and, what step to take and everything is phenomenal. It's like watching a 10-year vet. So, he reminds me of, honestly, Bruce Matthews. Bruce Matthews was a Pro Bowler at center, guard, and tackle. And he was the hardest player I ever went against. There was a guy named Randall McDaniel that was a huge, strong guy, and when he got a hold of you, you weren't going anywhere. But he just you could beat him every once in a while, whereas with Bruce Matthews, just couldn't win. So that's kind of who he's going to be. I don't think he played exactly like that last year, but he learned a lot and just a very mature player. So. Yeah, he's, and he's kind of in that range of some of the offensive linemen that we've drafted over the years, right? In the, he was pick 18. And, we had some guys that were later in the first round.
Yeah.
And this is more middle of the first round, but still, he's came from a small program school, and he just is, just been fantastic. And I think the highlight for me this year was when he hurt his knee at the Rams, and somebody asked him about, maybe taking a couple weeks off, and he said, you can die when you're dead.
Yeah. Which all great philosophers do. They repeat that.
He basically said, hey, I have my whole life to be a baby.
Yeah.
So I'm playing.
Yeah.
And so just toughness.
So looking at that, again, not just sort of putting position aside for a moment, you look at the rookie coming in this year in Jadarian Price. And is it fair to expect him to have that kind of impact, to kind of come out of the gates? And I've always felt like running back was one of the easier spots to make that jump from college to pro, to have an impact. I think it's much harder to be a cornerback. I think it's much harder to be a receiver first year, talking about a rookie, to come in and really hit that and have that moment. And we've seen rookie running backs come in and really excel. Not every time, but certainly it just feels like it's maybe more of a natural progression, not as. Is that fair, or do you think that's not accurate?
Yeah, well, I mean, that was the case with K9.
Yeah,
right.
The rookie year goes over 1,000 yards.
Over 1,000. So yeah, and then after that he didn't the next year. But yeah, I mean, I think the struggles sometimes are in pass protection.
Yeah.
Because if you're a star running back, you're getting the ball one way or another. Whether you're not doing much blocking. So I know that he is the most decisive runner in that draft. And if you go and look at not only his film, but if you look at some of the drills that they did at the combine, where the coaches make the bag go this way and you go that way, almost everyone, even Jeremiah Love, he took a little stutter step, and with Price, it was just boom, one step, and I think that's going to be key, especially running inside. It's your instincts that take over, and he looked really good. I think it's lofty to say that he's going to get 1,000 yards, which I think I heard Sean Alexander say that.
Really?
Yeah, on Bump and Stacy it was Bump and C-Raj today. They were talking about what Sean Alexander thought about him, and there was a quote where he said, "I think he's going to be the one rookie that could go for 1,000." So
wow.
Not asking for that. But
yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
That'd be phenomenal.
Well, NFL.com did their list. So they did a list of 12 rookies, and he was one of them. One of 12 rookies who need to succeed this season. And then they wrote this little blurb here. Seahawks, who ran the ball at the third highest rate last season, 50% of the time, had a gaping hole in the backfield. Charbonnet will return at some point next season, but Price figures to get ample burn, especially in early goings. The good news is that he enters the league with plenty of tread left on the tires, having played the role of Robin to Jeremiah Love's Batman at Notre Dame. Price never eclipsed 15 touches in a single game during his 3 seasons with the Fighting Irish, while totaling 15 receptions in 41 games. On the flip side, such limited usage in college makes you wonder how big a workload he's able to carry in the NFL.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, character just solid as can be. But, yeah, I think they have a better idea. It is a first-year coach, and they're putting together this run game. But, the reason why I would say he might get more yardage than Jeremiah Love is just because it's a mess in Arizona. They don't really know what they're doing. So, but, yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting that, but, I would be surprised if he really struggled. Let's put it that way. And it's hard to make that jump. It just is. Everything moves so much faster. But
he's obviously going to get more, at least at the beginning of the season, you would presume, barring a disaster in preseason, that he's going to get a lot of opportunity to start the year because
until they get Charbs.
I mean, I don't know what the time frame is for Charbonnet. I haven't heard anything definitive from McDonald as to what they timeline for his return.
Kenny Mack as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him get some opportunity. I don't know if we're just we just need to tap out on that whole wish list. It just doesn't seem to be happening, but maybe he gets an opportunity. So it just feels like Jadarian is in a prime spot for it to be basically him and Holani to start the year, and him being your draft pick there, that maybe he gets a lot of shine.
Yeah, well, and especially I think it's going to be the same thing as far as dedicating, the offense to running the ball. And, you mentioned the third highest rate last year. They just stuck with it down the stretch. And so, if he can stay healthy, and that's always a big question mark for running backs, as we're talking about two of our running backs being hurt. But I think that he's going to get a lot of chances. And so hopefully that'll translate to good play from him.
Real quick, the one knock on him was ball security.
Yeah.
How is that something that you think is easily correctable? Is that something that's part of somebody? We've talked about it with Tiki Barber, had years where he fumbled and all of a sudden he's carrying it high, he altered how he carried the ball. I know that Adrian Peterson had a really bad season. So guys have corrected those issues. So is that something you think is more a mechanical thing he can address at this level, or do you fear that that's part of his game?
Yeah, I'm not sure about as far as his grip on the ball and everything, and whether it's sound. And if that's the case, you hope that's the case, because then you can fix that right away. And like Tiki Barber did, he carried it higher against his shoulder pads or the chest plate, and you hope that that's it. But more times than not, it's just an awareness thing. And so we talked about that during the middle of the season, where they were turning the ball over like crazy. I mean, the Seahawks were dead last as far as giveaways, and it's just kind of a tough one, because it's like, well, what do you do? Like, I remember Mike McDonald going, "Hey guys, let's take care of the ball." He goes, "That's not good coaching."
Hey, stop turning it over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I'm hoping that it could be, if it's a mechanical thing, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But, I feel like it is more of an awareness thing, and especially in the NFL, it's crazy how you got guys like that Nate Landman kid, who's the linebacker for the Rams.
Like smack the ball out.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. It's like, and he'll throw a haymaker in the middle of a play that's going a million miles an hour and somehow land it on the ball. And that's just, it's that, it's that intense in the NFL. So it's only going to get worse if that's the problem for him. But he did, and I think he had like 3 or 4 fumbles inside the red zone.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah. So kind of emphasized that a little bit.
Meanwhile, NFL players are back on the field, and that means plenty of WHYMAN moments. We're going to dive into those coming up next. It's Wyman and Bob live from T-Mobile Park. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here for Bellevue Rare Coins. I'm really excited to be working with them again, and right now we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, pendants. It's worth finding out what some of those items are worth during such a strong market. Even broken and used jewelry is more valuable than you think. The folks at Bellevue Rare Coins told me they had a customer stop by because they heard an ad on the radio and said, "Hey, what the heck, let's just go see what it's worth." And they walked out of there with a check that far exceeded their expectations. And Bellevue Rare Coins has now expanded to Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma. A local established business known for honesty and no pressure evaluations that help you get the most for your valuables. A lot of people don't realize how valuable some of these items can be, so it's worth it stopping in to find out. Bellevue Rare Coins is now in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Hon, is your new pinball machine in our budget?
KeyBank will meet you in that our money is now our money moment.
Actually, our banker Steve recommended we start a joint checking account for bills and keep our individual accounts for things like, pinball machines.
Did someone say Banker Steve? I was in the neighborhood, in case you had any checking account questions.
Steve, you're always there for us. Now, how quickly can we open that account?
Steve, are you seeing this?
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BOOST to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BOOST to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BOOST to borrow up to $10,000.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Frank Lumber the Door Store has some exciting news. After 6 long years, our Marysville store will be reopening this Memorial Day, May 25th. Our regular hours will be Tuesday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. But on Monday, Memorial Day, May 25th, we will be celebrating our grand reopening from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by for a hot dog and pop and see the thousands of doors and discounted specials. Visit us this Memorial Day at Frank Lumber in Marysville on Cedar Avenue. We'll see you there.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know there is hope. After only 3 weeks of treatment, 86% of patients report a reduction in symptoms. Northwest Ketamine Clinics was the first ketamine clinic in the Northwest, opened 9 years ago. They now have locations in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue, with more than 50,000 treatments given. Find reviews and video testimonials from real patients on their website, including Brandon.
To anyone thinking about giving it a try, if you have depression, ADHD, bipolar, any of those things, feel like they would vastly benefit from it.
Everyone's path to healing is different. Schedule a free consultation today to find out if ketamine therapy is right for you. They have immediate availability, so you can get started this week. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
Why, man? Why?
Lunch has been canceled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
He's a habitual line stepper. What were you thinking? What are you doing?
Why are you the way that you are?
It's the Why Man of the Week.
WHYMAN is presented by Mazda of Everett. And we've got a couple of nice entries here today, Dave. We start with a guy you just mentioned a moment ago when we were talking about Jadarian Price. Jeremiah Love was on the St. Brown podcast, which I know you are a frequent listener to, and was shown pictures of players to see if he could identify them. And he didn't make it past the first one, which you will love, was a picture of Jared Goff.
I don't know this first guy. No, wait, hold on. You don't know the first? We're going to stop. I don't know him, bro. Can you turn that around? To you. He doesn't know the first guy. He look like old dude, Andrew Garfield. Is that showing the... That's Andrew Garfield, and this is the Notre Dame guy. There's no way.
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Jared Goff, have you heard of him?
Yeah, I heard of him.
That's
him?
That's him, yeah. It's all good. Next
I
card.
don't know. Arvell Reese.
Okay, that's easy. Everyone's getting that one.
It looks
Andrew Garfield?
The actor?
The actor? Yeah, he was on like the Social Network.
Yeah, he looks nothing like Jared Goff. Jared Goff looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
He looks like old dude Andrew Garfield.
Well, and so that's St. Brown. That's Amon-Ra, who is handing him the cards. That's his quarterback.
Right.
And I think they were just like, all right, that'll be an easy one.
Yeah.
They didn't know. And then there was another part later where he thinks that Jared Goff has been like out of the league. He's like, oh, he's still around? Like he's still the quarterback?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I mean, some of the younger kids now, they don't, remember Trevin Wallace? Okay, and this actually comes full circle because he actually got beat for a touchdown by Jared Goff in 2023. Remember we went, it was a Monday night game, and they threw a pass to Goff, and Trevin was supposed to peel.
Trevin Wallace.
Yeah, so anyway, Trevin Wallace, I saw him last year in Carolina, and he comes up and gives me the big hug. Hey, Dave, how you doing, and everything. So he could remember my name. But down on the field, when we were playing the 49ers one time, I was like, hey, man, I bet you're excited to see KJ Wright. And he goes,
he said, who?
KJ Wright? And I'm like, yeah, KJ Wright, outside backer. And he goes, no, it doesn't ring a bell. And I go, what about Bobby Wagner? He said, no, don't know.
Wow.
But, I mean,
those are not old guys. It's not like these guys are, they played 20 years ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're one's in the league, one's coaching. But yeah, I mean, I just think maybe the younger generation just not really up on that. And
I love that. He looked like old guy Andrew Garfield. Oh, all right. Well, there you go. There's Jeremiah Love. Meanwhile, a Patriots reporter was attempting to ask Drake May if he put on more muscle in the offseason, but tried to be funny and misunderstand the meaning of the word he used.
Rude question. Are you thicker with 2 C's? Is that the way you're supposed to say it? Is that kind of like the hip thing? Are you thicker with 2 C's? Is that how it's supposed to be? Or
I think that's paused, if that's anything. I think that's not the way to put it, but
he sounded like when I imitate the goofy. Is that thicker with 2 C's? Is that the way you're supposed to say that?
The
right
awkward
now?
white guy?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Lefko looking up thick, THICC. Someone who is attractively full-figured, possessing a voluptuous or curvy physique with a relatively small waist and fuller hips, thighs, and buttocks. So this guy is asking Drake May, are you thicker with 2 C's? Is that the way you're supposed to say that?
Curvier. Thicker, so that's supposed to emphasize it, right? Like make it, it's not just thicker, it's like thicker.
You use it when you're getting turned, Dave.
Yeah, there you go, Bob.
Yeah, that's when you use the 2 C's.
You need to say that in your voice.
Oh, I love that. Jeez. Because that reporter, you hear him going, is that how you're supposed to say that? I'm like, yeah. You start doing it that way, you probably shouldn't ask the question. Yeah. So there you go. Drake May, who apparently might be a little thicker with 2 C's. And then the last one comes courtesy of J.J. McCarthy, making things awkward when asked about the Vikings quarterback room.
It's just like 2 guys in a classroom. He sits on one side, I sit on the other side, and it's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. So,
is there any awkwardness between you two?
Awkwardness, it's just like the same feeling, when you're in high school and there's another person on the other side of the room. That's just kind of how it is. So I wouldn't say there's any awkwardness.
I would say that there was lots of awkwardness when I was a teenager.
That felt like, he's searching for the words. Because it wasn't the immediate, no, man, but there's 4 of us in there. We're all tight. We're all here for the same reason. We're all competitors. He could have given lip service, giving you the cliche, but that was like Bryce Miller talking about the piggyback. Like you see him kind of searching for the right thing to say, but that makes me feel like it is awkward. It wasn't like, hey, Kyler's a great guy, and this is going to be a great situation. None of that.
And he didn't have to say he sits on the other side of the room, and I sit on my side. I mean, that's like pretty much emphasizing the fact that they don't talk to each other.
Yeah, it was weird.
So
that was a weird answer. That would, if I'm a fan of that team, I'm kind of going, do we have an issue here? What?
That's going to be interesting. I don't get J.J. McCarthy. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I've talked to a lot of people who are very smart and good talent evaluators that
love him, right?
J.J. McCarthy is just, waiting to go, man. He's going to grow into it, and he's going to be one of these franchise quarterbacks. But you know what? As far as let's say it doesn't work out for J.J. McCarthy, I feel like down the road he could be one of those guys that emerges in their fourth, fifth year, kind of like Sam Darnold. Whereas with Kyler, I don't think that there's any hope for him.
You think he is who he is at this point?
I think we've seen it.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, I think he's obviously athletically he's gifted. He's got a lot of talent. He's got an arm. He certainly can do things. I don't know. Maybe he hears the right words from somebody on the coaching staff that he didn't hear in Arizona. Some approach to him that is unique. That
maybe you're right. And
flips
look,
that switch.
I might sound like I'm rooting against him. I'm really not. I want every player, unless he's a total creep. I want him to have success, and he hasn't done anything to me. I just have heard some things from him that I'm like, man, that's not really how you should be saying that.
Well, and everything we witness from afar, you're kind of reading his body language going, he seems like this kind of guy. But then you hear comments from former teammates.
Yeah.
You hear that the team had to write into the contract more study time that sort of cement these opinions you develop from the outside going, okay, I guess he kind of is that guy.
Yeah, who's the tackle that said he needs to grow up?
You always ask. I always forget. I always forget the guy's name. But
yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. All right.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. Coming up, what's for real and what might be a bit of a mirage for this Diamondbacks team? We'll get more insight from Nick Piecoro of the Arizona Republic. He's going to join us here live in the booth from T-Mobile Park. Coming up next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed. Julio.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without two of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
We live in one of the most beautiful places on earth, and owning your own deck is a great way to enjoy it. But finding the right decking solution can be overwhelming. That's why all 9 of our Puget Sound locations offer decking showrooms so you can get your hands and toes on the more than 60 decking options we carry. So if you have any questions about building, maintaining, or repairing your deck, contact me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Trex decking products on sale now through May 31st at Dunn Lumber.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. $4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Power your drive with Mobil 1 motor oil. Buy 5 quarts, get $15 back, and score a fast and furious prize after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with. Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation. They're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to HarleyExteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners getting back to it today after a day off. They are at home and they welcome the Arizona Diamondbacks to town for a 3-game series. Game 1 coming your way tonight. George Kirby will be on the hill for the Mariners. Zach Gallen goes for a red-hot Arizona Diamondbacks team who come in second place right now in the NL West, 31-24 record. Mariners looking to get to 500, 28-29, but they are in first place as we speak. You can catch it all starting at 6 p.m. with the pregame show, 7:10 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 7:10. Couple of games going on right now in Cincinnati. Reds trailing the Braves 1-0. That one in the top of the second. Bottom of the first in Pittsburgh, Twins and Pirates tied at 1 apiece. Bottom of the first in Washington, it's the Padres out to a 1-0 lead over the Nationals. Still to come, the Blue Jays in Baltimore to take on the Orioles. The Rays host the Angels. Red Sox on the road to take on the Guardians. It'll be the Mets hosting the Marlins. Cubs and Cardinals get together in St. Louis. White Sox and Tigers in Chicago. Royals and Rangers in Texas. Astros host the Brewers, and it'll be the Rockies and Giants in Colorado.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We are live at T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. We got the Arizona Diamondbacks in town for a 3-game series. They have been red hot, and a man who's been watching them up close and personal is the beat writer for the Arizona Republic. He's with us here in the booth. Nick Piecoro is with us. How are you, man?
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to talk to you. Good to have you out here. Does it feel like it's freezing out here to you?
Yeah, I was waiting for the train at the airport, and I got my big jacket on, and there's a girl there in short sleeves. I'm like, what is going on? Like, yeah, it's freezing cold for me. Freezing.
We were talking during the break about the heat in Arizona and all these steps you have to take to stay cool. No black cars, park undercover, all those things. So, yeah, welcome. It's supposed to get nicer over the next couple days.
I heard I missed a beautiful day yesterday.
You did.
Oh,
it was really nice. Really nice.
That was really smart of me to buy a car with a black interior when I lived in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
That worked out really well.
Did you have undercover parking?
No.
Even better. Double jeopardy. That's great. Hey, we were talking about this team. Obviously, we don't see the Diamondbacks a lot, so just kind of looking at them from the outside. And I was going through their record. They're on a hell of a tear.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting quirk of the schedule. Their last 13 games have been against two teams.
Yeah.
The Giants and the Rockies,
two teams
who are not good.
Yeah.
Now, credit to them for beating teams you're supposed to beat. The Mariners didn't do that when they faced the Royals. They got beat in that series, but
not that again, Bob.
Yeah, I can't let it go. It really bothered me. But Arizona doing what you're supposed to do. But I'm wondering, do you look at them and go, okay, they are a legit good team, or do you go, yeah, they might still be up for debate. They had a favorable schedule. How do you view their success right now?
I say, ask me in a week. They got the Mariners here for 3, and then they've got the Dodgers for 4 when they get home. I don't know. I mean, you look at what's been going on. Their offense has been getting going. Ketel Marte's heating up. Corbin Carroll's been hot. Ketel had been struggling for most of the first 6-7 weeks of the season, and that's not fluky for him to get going, and it's also not like he's a guy that only hits bad pitching. So that gives me some reason to believe that it's legit. And the starting pitching's been terrific. The bullpen's been pretty good. They pick it up defensively. So, I mean, they're doing a lot of the right things, but it's just you're looking through a weird lens where, they just beat the heck out of the Rockies and the Giants, and those are two really bad teams, or so it seems at this point. It's as much in anything about when you play teams as what teams you're playing, and they're really playing them at the right time right now. They caught those teams at the right time.
How about as far as injuries go this year and how much that's hampered this team? Do you feel a little on the snake bit side, or is it about normal?
Well, I mean, they started the year with Corbin Burns on the injured list. Yeah. They've got A.J. Puck and Justin Martinez, two of their top relievers that are out. And, they had some other things here and there, but I kind of feel like they're in a pretty good spot. The way you were looking at it coming into the season was if they can just kind of hang around the periphery of the race until the trade deadline, they'll be doing okay. Then they're going to get Corbin Burns back. And then, at the time it felt like Puck and Martinez were going to be, really integral to make them have a decent bullpen. And it turns out their bullpen's been great without them. So, yeah, I mean, you feel pretty good about where they're sitting, especially, you think about getting a top of the rotation guy back in Corbin Burns and other guys to bolster the bullpen. Yeah, I mean, and whatever you need at the deadline too. So I think they're in a pretty good spot right now. They should be proud of how where they're sitting at this point in the season.
We were talking during the break about a guy that was a favorite here, Paul Sewald, and he pitched very well.
Yeah,
but he was just a great guy to talk to. And I know, obviously, as a reporter covering the team, you interact with these guys. What's your impression of him, just personally, and then B, his perception amongst the fan base out there?
Yeah, I really like him. I enjoy covering him. I think he's insightful, intelligent. I feel like he just has a good sense for what's going on around the team. I think he's one of those guys that can just kind of put himself in other people's shoes and give you some perspective on what that guy might be going through or that guy might be thinking about right now. And then in Arizona, I mean, he was a really big part of getting them to the World Series in 2023, the year they made that trade with the Mariners, and they wouldn't have gotten as far as they did without him, but he gave up a home run to Corey Seager in Game 1 of the World Series, blew a save, and it feels like some fans just haven't totally forgiven him for it. Which I get. He had a rough year the next year too, couldn't stay healthy. It's hard to that sort of moment gets seared into your memory as a fan, right? But he's pitching great. I think is he 13 of 14 in save chances here to open the year. I know his ERA isn't. I think it's in the 3.8, 3.9 range, so it's not sparkling. But when they've needed him to come out and get the job done, he's done it more often than not.
Hey, being in a division with a team that spends a ton of money, as far as the Players Association and MLB going back and forth, as far as the whole ceiling and floor, where are you with that? And what do you think? Sort of, I mean, we're all just kind of making predictions as to whether or not there's going to be a work stoppage, but what are your impressions of that? Does that seem realistic to you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems like there's a little bit more hope that they can avoid it. Recently, from what just listening to people talk, I don't know if it's reasonable or not. They've obviously introduced the idea of a salary cap, which the players have said they're never going to go for. So that kind of sounds scary. Yeah, I mean, and as a guy that follows the Diamondbacks, in the same division as the Dodgers, you spend twice as much at least than them most years. You kind of just look at the division championship as like that's not a way to get into the playoffs, and you're going to have to bank on those wild card spots. And once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. So I mean, I don't know. I know this sounds. I mean, maybe I'm just kind of swimming against the current here when I say this, but like the Dodgers could have easily got knocked out either the previous couple of years, right? I mean, they almost got beat by the Padres. They, were right on the doorstep of losing against the Blue Jays last year. I think the way that it's currently set up, being able to just get in and kind of chaos can ensue. It's not the worst setup. I look, like if we had more parity in terms of spending, that's preferable for sure. Is it worth blowing up the entire potentially future of the sport to get there? Probably not, if you're asking me. Yeah. It seems like these teams are doing pretty well. Seems like everybody's making a pretty good amount of money, players included. I think the status quo. I just don't know if the cost of a massive prolonged work stoppage. I mean, what are people going to say? It's millionaires versus billionaires, and they're going to say, "F that. I'm not coming back." Right? I mean, maybe they'll come back eventually, but it would take a really long time, just like it did last time.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's the first time they proposed a hard cap since '94. You always hear it. It's always in the background, but it always seems to be dismissed out of hand. Like, don't even bring it up. Players Association's not even going to entertain it. Now they're bringing it up. So
it's pretty interesting that it's also the proposals have been made public.
Yeah.
Like they have been.
And,
and that it's only, it's May. I don't know. That
I like that they're working on it.
Exactly. That it seems like there's talk going on and serious talk at this point.
But it does seem like there's a lot of ground to cover to get to the middle, though. Yeah. So probably good that they're starting early. Hey, curious guy here who's immediately became a fan favorite immediately in Josh Naylor. What was that a big loss out there? Did the fan base how was he viewed out there? Because it was almost odd how quickly the fan base took to him and how he took to Seattle and the impact that he had last year in the second half when that move was made.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean this in any sort of disrespect. He was kind of just another guy. Like, he swung the bat well when he was there. He didn't play great defensively. They had several stars already on that team, and he was only there for 3-4 months. So. I don't know. I saw what he did. It was pretty wild. I mean, he was stealing bases. He was
doing it again this year.
Is he?
He's got 12 steals so far.
I mean, that was wild. It was like 19 for 19 or something last year. At one point, I remember looking up. He played well. I just didn't. I didn't expect him to just become like this. Like, just such an ingrained part of this team and this community. Like he did. That was cool to see. He's he could certainly hit. I mean, he's got a knack for finding the barrel. I know his numbers aren't great, right, at this point.
He's turned it around.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah,
that's good to see.
He's been hot this month.
Yeah, well, it's hard to figure out how he steals bases, because, I mean, he's just not a fast guy. But, yeah, I mean, it was interesting. He just endeared himself. And actually, I'm not bragging about our show or anything, but we did an interview with him that I think made him kind of famous in Seattle because – first of all, we said, this isn't a hitter's park. He goes, I think it's a hitter's park. I love it here. And then, he said
it's easy to hit here.
Yeah, and then he said how this is his favorite fan base and everything. So, yeah, and he didn't come off as pandering. Yeah. Like, he definitely is a very serious guy. And, he just took off popularity-wise. I guess he didn't have that kind of popularity down.
I don't think he was unpopular. He just didn't do what he did here.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know how much you pay attention to the American League outside of these interleague games, but Well, if you do, I'm curious just to get your take on what you see there, because we look at teams that are 500 or better in the league, and I haven't looked today, but it was 5 yesterday, where I think it's 11 in the National League. And, maybe it's some of that is beating up on each other. We just talked about the 13-game stretch for the Diamondbacks going up against 2 horrible teams. But do you see a dramatic difference between talent-wise between AL, NL?
It seems like there's a little more depth in terms of good teams in the National League, but I think that's a little overblown. I think some of those NL Central clubs are probably going to end up falling off a little bit as time goes on. I think the Mariners are clearly one of the, at least in terms of, looking on paper, talent-wise, one of the 5 or 10 best teams in baseball, and they're under 500. Like, that's not going to continue, if you ask me. Toronto is a pretty good team, but has been hit really hard by injuries. I don't know what's going on in Baltimore, Boston. Like, it seems like those clubs should be better. I do think there's teams in the American League that should be better than they've played so far, and the opposite in the National League. But I mean, I think you look at it, you probably have to give the advantage to the National League. Just I think there's a few more. I mean, the Mets are awful. The Mets are really a bad baseball team right now,
and one of the biggest spending teams in all of baseball.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some of that going on. The Giants are spending a lot of money and are awful as well. The Phillies seem to have turned things around and getting closer to what you'd expect. So, yeah, I mean, I think you'd probably still look at the Dodgers, right, and say that's the team to beat. But I really don't think the Mariners are that far behind when they're clicking on all cylinders.
Do you chalk up any of the struggles from teams to the WBC?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good argument. I mean, I was talking to somebody with the Royals the other day who was pointing at the slow starts for a lot of their players, Michael Garcia, Vinny Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, and these guys ramping up and then having to kind of ease back down in spring training and then try to ramp back up again. It's a thing. It's a theory. I mean, it makes some sense. I don't know. Look, you can even look at some of the Diamondbacks guys. Ketel was off to a slow start. Perdomo hasn't gotten going yet. Maybe there's something to that. I don't know. These guys, some guys, Eduardo Rodriguez is one of the Diamondbacks starting pitchers off to a really good start. You may remember threw really well against Team USA in WBC. It seems like it's had the opposite effect for him. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I know it's a fun tournament, and I know everybody is really excited to play in it, and guys are glad it exists. I don't think they want to not play in it in the future, Yeah,
because they're an underrated player that on the Diamondbacks that maybe doesn't get enough credit.
Geez, let me see. Let me look at the roster really fast here. I mean, Ketel and Corbin, I guess maybe in a weird sort of way, people don't know that Nolan Arenado is on the Diamondbacks these days.
Yeah.
And like I every now and then I'll end up in a city and be like, oh man, I completely forgot that guy was on your team these days. And I think that he kind of got written off a little bit, the way the last couple of years have gone in St. Louis. He's having a great year. Yeah. He's maybe not quite the fluid defender that he was before. He still has a really good arm. He still can make plays. You're like, holy smokes, but it's just not quite at that old, Arenado level or maybe Machado level. But he's swinging the bat again too. He got off to a bit of a slow start first few weeks, changed the way his kind of pregame work went, and has been really good since. He went from getting pinch hit for in a big situation in the third week of the season, like basically the first time that ever happened in his career, and like hitting 7th for them, to now he's hitting the cleanup spot most nights and swinging it really well. So I don't know if that's really what you're looking for an answer, but Nolan Arenado is still a good player.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick before we let you go, I'm curious, during the offseason we were talking about, possibilities in terms of trades and who you would acquire, who's available. Ketel Marte's name came up over and over and over. Was he legitimately available, do you think? Were they trying to move him and just didn't find the right deal? What was the reality of that?
Yeah, I mean, I think they were willing to. Like I was saying at the beginning, when we were talking about all the injuries to the pitching staff coming into the year, they felt like they were going to need to go out and add arms. And if Ketel was going to be able to get them, a guy that plugs right into the rotation and then a young position player or something like that, to start a package, they felt like it was something they were going to have to think about. I think there was a world where maybe they deal Cattell, they go and sign Pregame or something like that. I don't think they were necessarily thinking of taking a step back this year. But yeah, it was a real thing, and for whatever reason, the offers didn't materialize. I think it's just, a lot of teams look at, they value things differently, right? I mean, it's a lot of like looking at what the models tell you and how much surplus value players will provide, and it's harder for these teams to make those sorts of deals where you might be on the wrong end long term of a surplus value type of deal. You see that at the trade deadline. I mean, the Mariners didn't have to give up much for Eugenio Suarez last year for probably the same reason. Cattell's a little different story, but, the Diamondbacks were asking for a lot. And, maybe 10 years ago, that kind of deal gets made a little bit more easily than now.
Yeah. Nick Piecoro, Diamondbacks beat writer for the Arizona Republic, has been our guest here with Wyman and Bob. Nick, pleasure to speak with you, man. Thanks so much for taking the time with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Stay warm out here. There you go. He does a great job covering the team who's in town for a 3-game series. Appreciate it, man. Game 1 coming your way tonight, and going to be fun to watch this Mariner team against a good team, a team that's on a roll, whether you want to chalk it up to their schedule or not. And as he said, ask me in a week, about the reality of their schedule. So that's a guy that covers the team who's saying, well, yeah, let's see how they do when they face the Mariners. And I think he said they're facing the Dodgers. So, yeah, that'll be probably a better measuring stick for this team rather than playing the Rockies, the Giants, followed by the Rockies, followed by the Giants, and then now the Mariners.
Well, and I would love it if, obviously if the Mariners win the series at least, and then they go on and do some damage against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The hated Dodgers that seem like they're, just unreachable by most teams.
Yeah, and they unreachable in salary, unreachable in talent. It's just an embarrassment of riches up there. Meanwhile, we just came off a series against the A's where we saw the team play complete ball. You saw pitching step up. You saw the offense come to life, playing cleaner defense. Is this a team that you think ultimately we're still going to go, yeah, they're built on their pitching? Their pitching is there. They're going to win more than they lose. That's what's going to carry them into the postseason.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I think that's what everybody wants. I mean, and that's something Scott Service used to say all the time about, look, you win with pitching and defense. But I don't know. I hope that. I mean, obviously, I'm not hoping that the pitching drops off, but it would be really nice if this was a team known for its offense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're looking for. And I feel like it's coming. It's just a matter of when. And I think it's probably going to coincide with Cal Raleigh getting back and being healthy, and same thing with Brendan Donovan. I mean, he started off a little rough at third base, but he was killing the ball. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to, and, I'm saying that thinking that the pitching is not going to drop off, and I just don't think it will. We're too good. The pitching is phenomenal, and I think it's going to be hard for the offense to all of a sudden be the premium of this team, but that's what you'd like to see.
Yeah, I was thinking about this hypothetical last night. If the playoffs started today, right? Mariners are in, and all of your starters are rested and healthy. How would you stack them? Assuming you'd probably go 3-4 deep because it's playoffs. You're not going 6. So who would be what order would you put them in? Go through 4.
Who are you talking about the rotation again?
Yeah. But for the playoffs.
For the playoffs.
Yeah, just hypothetically, they're in. This is game 1 tonight. You Dan Wilson, you've got a fully rested rotation, and everybody's healthy, and you get to slot them as you see fit.
You're going out there with Emerson Hancock.
Would he be game 1? Because my answer is different for this.
Yeah, because of his youth.
Just his experience. I'd go Woo game 1.
Yeah.
This is assuming everybody's healthy, and as we sit right now, I'd probably go Woo 1. Probably go Kirby 2. Then I'm vacillating between Logan and Hancock at 3.
I don't know, man. I look at Emerson Hancock. I see the expression on his face. I see how young he looks and everything. But that dude is so confident, he just there's something about the way that he's pitching right now that it's like, I think if you put, that kind of pitching on a different face and body, that you would have more
belief.
More belief.
If he looked more aggro, if he looked some big bearded guy. Just.
But no, I mean, no, I'm just joking. But really, you're probably right about that as far as the veteran pitchers and having pitched in the playoffs. But I don't know. It just the performance has been so phenomenal this year for me.
Yep.
So another guy I would put up there higher. He hasn't proven it yet, but I don't know. I just get a feeling about Bryce Miller.
Yeah.
And that, now that he's healthy, and I love his confidence. You love that he's a great teammate and everything, but, he's had, some performances that, and I feel like if he was just a regular starter, that we might be talking about him being in the top 1 or 2 slots.
Yeah. His problem is we just have such limited exposure to him this year to see, all right, is he this guy game in, game out? What are we getting? So we'll see him again this weekend. And hopefully it's a continuation of what we've seen to this point, which has been very good. Meanwhile, talking about this Mariners pitching situation, it takes center stage again this weekend. We'll talk about what could change with it coming up next as we continue live from T-Mobile Park with Wyman and Bob. It's Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed. Julio.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without 2 of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
Hey, are you somebody that's been dealing with pain, maybe a joint pain? You've been going through physical therapy, trying to get it back to where it was, and now you feel like you're considering surgery. Well, before you do that, do yourself a favor. Do what I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports in Regenerative Medicine. Now, he did a stem cell procedure on my hip, and it has been an absolute game changer. 90-minute outpatient procedure. I'd heard about it over and over. Dave Wyman talking with people, the testimonial after testimonial, talking about how it changed their situation, and that's what I was looking for because I thought I was at the end of the road. I was doing physical therapy. I was getting steroid injections in my hip, and it looked like that was it. Surgery was inevitable until Dr. Wagner took a look at my imaging and said, I can help you. This will help you. And I had a lot going on in there. He said it doesn't cure everything. It will go a long way. He undersold it because it feels cured. It feels like it did before all of the injuries I sustained. And where Dr. Wagner is as experienced as it gets. He's the most experienced in the Northwest. He's a board-certified physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures. And he only uses your own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in your own joints. So people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back to doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. So whether it's a hip like I had, a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Just go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Summer's supposed to be fun. When the kids are home all day, the groceries, they add up fast. G. Scott here with a quick heads up from Safeway. There's a program called Sunbucks that gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically and will get a card in the mail. Others need to apply. Take a minute to check. It could really help put food on the table for your family. Head to freesummermeals.org to find out more. That's freesummermeals.org.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
If you're struggling to hear conversations, TV, or the people you love, now there's an easier, more affordable solution without spending thousands. Audion Hearing makes high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98 with free shipping and dedicated one-on-one support in the comfort of your own home. No doctor's offices, no pressure. Clearer hearing delivered right to your door. Join over 1 million happy customers hearing life more clearly. Visit audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Under these arches, opposing teams are put to the test. Can they hear themselves over the boom of the 12s? Can they withstand the Seattle elements? Can they compete against us? Touchdown, Seahawks! This city lives for Sunday. Get your tickets for Seahawks game days at Lumen Field and experience what this city lives for. Visit Seahawks.com today.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now I really love working with, Harley Exteriors. You can expect a no-pressure consultation, they're great people to work with, and their windows are beautiful. I recently met with them, and I was excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with. And now, Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. Right now, get $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio or entry door, 12-month or 18-month, no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on a new project, I don't know what is. Schedule a consultation just like I did. Give them a call at 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Our thanks to Nick Piecoro, Diamondbacks beat writer for the Arizona Republic, who joined us in the previous segment to give us some insight on this Diamondbacks team who are in town for a 3-game series with your Seattle Mariners. Game 1 coming your way tonight. They're starting to fill up down there on the field. People out there's a crowd developing as we get set for this game.
I think those are the people that are singing the national anthem. There's like 50 of them.
Huh. Yeah.
So,
these look like media swine over there. And then, I don't know who these people are, but there's
media swine.
Yeah, that's right.
That's us.
We're all part of that family there. But Mariners are set to embark on the piggyback experiment at least one more time this Sunday.
I can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be great. I'll be out here, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. But I'm wondering. I'm just more curious, and again, not rooting for this in any way, shape, or form. But should it not go well? Should Bryce Miller go out there and get touched up, or maybe he pitches well and then Castillo comes out and gets touched up? Do they say, all right, well, hey, it's a bad game, we're continuing, we're not changing course? Or do you think there's a short leash on this whole thing? I don't have a vibe as to how committed they are to this. It feels like we're committed for now, but I don't get a sense of, hey, we're riding this thing out. This is how it's going to go.
I think it's going to get wild. I think that they might go to another stint of 6-man rotation.
Really?
And then maybe go back to it. Look, I hate saying this, but I do think it's probably going to happen, that you're going to have somebody get some tightness somewhere, and then it's not going to be a problem, and it is a problem. But, I mean, as far as the piggyback thing goes, or six-man rotation. So, yeah, it's funny how opinionated people are about it.
Yeah.
And, and it's just become kind of like on the group chat with, all the broadcasters for the Seahawks, Ray Roberts, and Ray was like annoyed by just, why are we saying piggyback all the time? What is this?
Is that a football player thing? Because we had Paul Moyer on earlier who almost refused to call it that. He was no, I'm calling it stacking.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with piggyback. I'm calling it stacking.
Well, Paul said lots of things, but
yes, he did.
But yeah, I mean, I think it might get a little bit weird, but yeah, as long as it's okay with their morale and everything. I mean, when's the last time you saw that kind of reaction from Luis Castillo, of all people?
Yeah,
that he slams his glove, and is that really that big of a deal? I mean, are we maybe making too big of a deal out of that?
Over his reaction?
Yeah.
No, I think it's just it just spoke to he's not clear what the plan is here.
We heard what the players think about it.
Yeah, he's making it clear.
Yeah.
We knew already from the previous time that Bryce wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah.
Now you saw that Luis was not a fan. And it was more, to me anyway, in watching that, I was like, all right, he clearly is not up to speed on what the plan is. They didn't communicate because the camera zeroing in on him on the bench and Dan Wilson leaning over and talking to him through the whole thing, like for a while. It wasn't just a, hey, attaboy, great job, we'll talk about this. No, he was, you see the palms up in the air, you see a lot of gesturing from Luis, so it was out of character. I don't know if people thought this is a disaster, but it was something we don't normally see.
Yeah, no, you don't. I'm trying to remember who Bump and Stacy had on that, and he was making the case that he said pitchers, they still care about wins.
Do they? Yeah, I don't know.
That was his. I'm not so sure about that, but
the wins have been so devalued to where I don't even pay attention to them. I couldn't tell you wins and losses for any of our starters because they've been so devalued, thrown out the window because they're so really not in control. I mean, we talked about it for years with Felix Hernandez. I mean, he won the Cy Young when he was 13-11, I think was his record.
Yeah.
So there's so much that's out of a pitcher's control when it comes to a win or loss that analytics over the years have really made that kind of just a nonsense stat when it comes to a pitcher.
Yeah, I don't know where he got that from, and that'd be interesting next time we get one of the starting pitchers on, just ask him about that in particular. But he seemed pretty adamant about it. He's like, oh yeah, they care. So I don't know. We haven't really asked anybody, but yeah, it's just that whole thing it's been very interesting. It's been a good story, and I think I keep saying this, but I think it's true. The good thing about it's kind of a controversy, but it's a controversy because you have really good pitchers.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the other way around. What if we had really only one guy that we're putting at number one? I mean, you and I talk about the rotation all the time and who should be, the number one guy, who's your ace, and it changes all the time.
Yeah.
So it's been phenomenal that way, and I hope this whole thing doesn't end because of an injury. But it's pretty likely that somebody's going to get some tightness or soreness somewhere down the road.
Somebody will miss a start.
Somebody will miss a start or two, or maybe a couple, three.
A couple, 3 days.
I think we heard Moyer say that one, by the way.
Did he?
I think he said couple, 3.
Yeah. Somebody also made fun of him, said something about difference. Did you see the text? It was pretty good.
Yeah, he doesn't like G's. He was in the 7th inning.
The letter G is just not a fan.
Yeah,
Moyer
said a lot, man. So check that out.
Yeah, he did say a lot. So definitely, that's one that we'd recommend going back and taking a listen to if you missed that conversation. It'll be there for you after the show at seattlesports.com. Meanwhile, we talked to John Morosi yesterday, and he talked about some of the potential next steps for the whole piggyback situation.
You maybe give it 1 or 2 more cycles and then see if either is an injury, which sometimes happens, and then that solves itself. Or if you're getting towards the All-Star break or later into June and we're still talking about this, and if it's still an issue, then you probably do have to realistically look at a trade scenario. I think Castillo's probably the most natural guy to move given where he's at contractually. It's not the easiest contract to take on because there's money on it for next year. There's the option, a vesting option for 28. So it's not the easiest contract to move, and yet there are teams out there that desperately need starting pitching. So I think for now, you go status quo, however awkward it is. You got to roll with it for at least one or two more times. Clearly, it's going to happen this weekend against the Diamondbacks. And then I think you step back and assess.
Yeah, and you know what? I would say your average Mariner fan may say, oh, this is BS. We got to do this and that. I think they enjoy the drama.
Yeah, so
let's see. Let's see what happens this time. Maybe Bryce Miller will throw his glove in the dugout.
You think they like that soap opera vibe?
Yeah. I do, and it is interesting because I can't wait for Sunday.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I'm making it a point to be here for that, so I can see. All right, how is this? Depending on how it goes, what's that clubhouse like, or that locker room, Dave? Yeah. What's it like down there, and what's the response from the players and Dan based on the outcome? It's going to be an interesting situation. We talked to Doug Glanville as well, who's always a great conversation, and he talked about how the piggyback can work and talking about the requiring of a lot of communication in order to pull it off.
It's been something that's been certainly out there in the sport analytically, and to see it at the major league level, that's kind of pioneering in some ways as the Mariners have leaned into it. And it goes down to what I think of with A.J. Hinch, say, the manager of the Tigers, who he just talks a lot about buy-in. And if whatever radical move you're making, you got to get the buy-in, and then it can kind of keep moving. And that's hard to do, especially if it's something that like Dan Wilson traditionally wouldn't necessarily employ based on his playing days. So that creates the working relationship that Dan Wilson has to have with the front office or with Hollander. They have to have that communication and then, sell it, so to speak, to the pitchers. And it's hard to do when they're sort of mentally preparing for being, the starter.
Well, I think that brings home, he's the first one to kind of talk about it. Do you really think that Dan was a catcher in the league? Mm-hmm. There's no way that this is natural for him or it's his idea or any. That's just what I'm projecting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a collective. I think it's him. I think it's Woodworth. I think it's Jerry. I think it's Justin. I think it's how do we manage this situation?
Yeah.
What's the best
I look
avenue?
at it that it's Jerry and Justin. The end. Because look, and they're doing what they think is best. And so maybe, some of the players like it, but they know they got a handle on those guys and know that they're not going to, they don't bring turds in here, right? They just don't. They have, they have good character, high character guys, and Jerry and Justin are responsible for that. So, and they know that, hey, there might be a little bit of pushback, but it's, it's going to work out. And if we put it to these guys that, hey, this is for the team. And this is for us winning and getting back to the playoffs, then they'll buy in.
All right, well, coming up, Sam Darnold knows exactly when he knew the Seahawks could win the Super Bowl last year. You're going to hear about that when we sweep the dial. Coming up with Wyman and Bob live from T-Mobile Park at Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without two of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Spring Classic collector car, truck, and boat auction. Saturday, June 6th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Events Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Underestimating the trucking industry is one of the biggest mistakes I see victims and other lawyers make. Trucking companies have an army of lawyers and experts who act quickly after an accident to protect the company. Only an experienced trucking accident lawyer can navigate the complicated federal and state laws to protect your rights. If you or a loved one has been injured in a trucking accident, call Davis Law Group today for a free consultation or get my free book on trucking accident law at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
I'm Stacey Rost, and here with my friend Mark Clymer, GM of Wayscar Ford, Isuzu in Auburn. Mark, I know for me, when I go to a dealership, I just don't want to feel pushed into buying something.
Hey, I'm just like you, Stacey. I don't want to feel pressured when I'm trying to buy something either. So we understand that, and so do all of our employees. The bottom line is we'll give you the information that you want. We'll take care of you from beginning to end, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, we understand. We only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one.
I think the thing that I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. It's a huge investment, and I got to be honest, I don't know a ton about cars.
Second largest thing most people ever buy next to a home. So You're right. You want to make sure you're buying from a reputable place. You want a warranty, and you want to make sure you're covered for any reason you change your mind. And we offer that. 5 days or 500-mile, 100% money-back guarantee.
And congratulations on 104 years in Auburn. That's a big deal. Check out the 104th anniversary sale going on now with great prices. That's Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn, wayscarford.com.
The Mariners are celebrating their 50th season with legendary events all summer long. Score seats to a fireworks night presented by T-Mobile, including the next show on June 19th. Plus, check out can't-miss collectibles like the 3-day Cal Raleigh Funko Pop giveaway starting June 29th. And August 8th, it's 50 season celebration night presented by Daktronics. Witness the most iconic gathering of franchise greats as the top 50 Mariners players are unveiled at T-Mobile Park. Get tickets at mariners.com.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the Dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
Well, this is a fascinating conversation. Sam Darnold was on the Green Light podcast with Chris Long. They talked about a ton, including, we'll get to it maybe next week. He mentioned how he kind of changed his mindset when talking to a sports psychologist. But this one specifically jumped out to me because it's a game that you two talked about. And Darnold, talking with Chris Long, points to a game last year when he knew that last year's Seahawks team could be really good.
The first game against the Rams, I would say when we lost and I threw like 4 interceptions, there was no reason for us to really be in that game. And that was a game where the defense kind of kept us in it. And shoot, I mean, J-My had a crazy field goal opportunity, 60-plus yarder, but we still had an opportunity to win the game. And so I think for me, like, you want to talk about like painting the house, using the brush to paint the house. Like I was like, dude, we got a really good, I just turned the ball over 4 or 5 times and we still had a chance to win the game. And so like, there's a lot of optimism that goes on there, once that game's done.
100%. We talked about it, Dave, after that game. Oddly, yeah, as a Seahawks fan, bummed they lost, but remember coming out of that going, man, I came out of that feeling almost good that they had 4 drives starting on their side of the field. Remember, we talked about that,
including like inside the 10.
Yeah, I think one was inside the 5.
Yeah, and it took them 4 downs.
4 downs,
for a touchdown,
and he just articulated they had no business being in that game, and it came down to a 61-yard field goal attempt. I think
61. Yeah, and it wasn't even close.
Bad swing on it, but the fact that they were even in the game, I remember coming out of that game going, wow, how in the hell were they even close to this? And he's right.
Well, and I would say they were lucky to that punt was the best punt I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it went directly out at like the half-yard line. So that made it tough because you get the ball to 20 and maybe that's a shorter field goal, you know? And I don't know how everything, like I always say, you open up a new window to the universe or whatever. How does that mean that they're going to be 20 yards closer? But I'm just assuming that if they run the same plays, now it's a 41-yarder. So, there was a lot of reasons to sort of be optimistic after that game. Also, it gave one of the greatest quotes, maybe of like my whole time covering the NFL. EJ's.
Yeah.
We just loved that. So, and that's where they kind of solidified as a team, kind of crystallized that, like, hey, and Sam was in there falling on his sword right and left, and all of a sudden Ernest Jones is like, that's BS. We could have done better. And you know who played so well in those situations? DeMarcus Lawrence. He was playing. That's when I'm like, oh, man, this guy is a dog.
Sweeping the Dial.
Well, Niners head coach Kyle Shanahan was talking to the media yesterday at their OTAs, and he unveiled that the Niners are going to have some joint practices, and he said a team that could eliminate what sounds like it could be the only option for the Seahawks to have joint practices with.
Have you decided, or have you worked with the coaches you're going to be going up against in the preseason as far as joint practices?
Yeah, we're most likely going to go up against Tennessee and the Chargers.
And with the Chargers, is there any at all thought about, you're going to be playing them during the season as well? Like, does that factor into?
Not really. No, it's stay pretty vanilla. You're not scheming and stuff and doing stuff in practice. It's just more getting guys a chance to go against a couple different things than they usually go against.
So no Titans?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because Mike McDonald had a different take, which, I kind of agree. I don't think you'd want to have a joint practice against a team you're playing in the regular season, which would leave the Cowboys and Chiefs as the only options for the Seahawks, but they play both of them. But it sounds like Kyle Shanahan doesn't care. So maybe if the Seahawks really want to have a joint practice, they would. I mean, I guess the Titans could have 2. It would be back-to-back weeks, which seems weird.
Well, I'll tell you what. He's right about the whole thing with, we're not going to be scheming and doing things like that. But there is something, familiarity breeds contempt. Like when I went to Denver and we're playing the Seahawks and I'm looking at the scouting report and I'm like, yeah, I know that dude. I know what what he's up to. So you get a little bit more familiar with that team. And so that might be a factor of why you wouldn't want to, necessarily practice, or you would want him on the other side. But I don't know that.
And you like joint practices, right?
I think they're great. Yeah, because again, the preseason games, you never know what direction they're going to go. But when you have joint practices, you can intentionally work on things that you need to work on. A lot of times in games, and that's really the only live bullets you get in the NFL is during the games, because nobody's practicing, nobody's going out there doing full pad scrimmages. So you get a chance to do that, and it got feisty, man. There was almost a fight in Tennessee a few years ago where anybody that's on video, Big Cat had his arm like fully cocked and like he was gonna just smash a guy, and then somebody grabbed him, and I was like, ooh, I wouldn't want to be on the other end of that punch. And then there was almost that, and he got red in Green Bay too.
Yeah,
and for such a nice guy. But is there a guy that you would like just be terrified that you pissed him off? Anybody more than Big Cat?
Yeah, I'd apologize.
Yeah, maybe Byron Murphy.
Yeah, I'd be like, I didn't mean that, sir.
We have a misunderstanding here.
I thought we were turned. It turns out we're not. So my bad.
Sweeping the dial.
Mr. Cap to you there.
That's right.
So A.J. Pierzynski was on Foul Territory, that show that they do every day, and he is kind of, I think, talked about salary cap. That was the proposal from Major League Baseball yesterday. Pierzynski's coming out here kind of railing against it, and in listening to this, I think you can kind of hear why it might be such a contentious, drawn-out process between the two sides.
But they don't have money. They can't afford. But the $99 million Marlins can't afford, barely survive David Sampson and all his crap he just spewed about how we can't afford it. But now all of a sudden, every team can afford 171. Come on, man. This is some bull crap, man. I'm sorry. I know he disputed for 20 minutes about how him and the Marlins couldn't afford, to keep the team around and this and that. They had the money to pay him the contracts originally, and now the players went at 150, and now the owners say 171, and 240 is the cap now, hard cap. Like, come on, this is why this negotiations take so long. This is kind of ridiculous. I'm not going to say just from the owner, kind of from both sides, but this is kind of ridiculous.
He's not wrong. I mean, that's a great point to bring up. You got an owner crying poor who's paying under $100 million in his total salary, and now you're asking him to essentially more than double it.
Yeah,
he's already crying poor, and you're going to say, all right, 171 is your new floor. So
I'm very curious to see how they would get up to the floor. Like, do you all of a sudden give everybody a $5 million raise, or
maybe you start trading for contracts from other people?
You start, you get a free agent and just pay him. It might really benefit a couple of players, right? But how they're going to implement that is what is curious to me, if that does go through. Because I would think that they would say maybe like 3 years to get up to a ramp up. Yeah.
But even, and I hate defending the cheap clubs, but that almost is not fair just to say overnight, okay, you spent $81 million this year. Next year you have to spend $171. So get that going.
Yeah.
I mean, that
start writing checks.
Yeah, it doesn't seem realistic. So I don't know that you go and start renegotiating every contract on the team, saying, all right, you get an extra 5, you get an extra 3, you get the, So I think maybe it would be somewhere in taking on free agent contracts, or taking on, maybe trades and taking on big contract. Luis Castillo, maybe he becomes more attractive in that sense.
But you looked up the Marlins yesterday. They were the one with the lowest. And how far away were they from the? Was it like a 90
According
million?
to Spotrac, they were roughly around 80 million is where they were sitting. So you're if it's 171, you're asking for another 91 million, more than doubling what they spent.
Right.
So, it doesn't seem realistic. All right, it's time to make our predictions for this all-important homestand. We'll make our Call It Now picks coming up next as we continue live from T-Mobile Park with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
It's all Mariners now.
Back in first.
Swung on and destroyed.
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without 2 of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive?
These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Free your team from time-consuming procurement tasks. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Power your drive with Mobil 1 motor oil. Buy 5 quarts, get $15 back, and score a fast and furious prize after rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
This This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners getting back to it tonight at home. They welcome the Arizona Diamondbacks to town, who have been red hot. They've won 11 of their last 13 games. They are in second place in the NL West. So they come in rolling right now with a 31-24 record. Meanwhile, Mariners looking to get right back to 500. It's coming in at 28-29. More importantly, they are in first place in the AL West. They'll send George Kirby to the hill in Game 1. He faces off against Zach Gallen. You can catch it all starting at 6 o'clock with the pregame show, 7:10 first pitch right here. Seattle Sports on 7:10. Taking a look at your scoreboard. Games going on right now in Cincinnati, top of the 5th. Braves out to a 4-2 lead over the Reds. Bottom of the 4th in Pittsburgh. Twins up on the Pirates 5-4. They're in the top of the 4th in Washington, with the Nationals doubling up the Padres 4-2. Orioles out to a 2-0 lead in Baltimore over the Blue Jays. That one headed to the bottom of the 4th. Top of the 4th in Tampa Bay, the Angels and Rays tied at 1 apiece. Top of the 4th in Cleveland, Guardians out to a 4-0 lead over the Red Sox. It's the Mets up 4-1 on the Marlins in New York. That one top of the 3rd. Top of the 3rd in St. Louis, Cubs up 4-3 on the Cardinals. No score between the White Sox and the Tigers, headed to the bottom of the 2nd in Chicago. Rangers and Royals, Astros, Brewers, Rockies, Giants, A's, Yankees, and Dodgers, Phillies, all yet to come.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Coming up at 5:45, we've got mean texts, so get set for those at 866-979-3776. How they been doing so far, Lefko?
I think they're the piggyback of our listeners. I don't know. I was trying to make a joke about that phrase.
Yeah, good try.
Yeah.
So
we've got a lot of piggyback-related texts.
Is that your way of saying they've not been good?
They're not able to stand on their own. I would say that.
All right.
Yeah. Felt better in my
they have to ride somebody?
Yeah, they have to be carried.
That didn't sound
the carry or the ride.
That did not sound good.
I still don't understand that analogy. But, yeah. Do we have to call in a pro? Do we have to send out the bat signal to Adam Ray, wherever he is in the world? Send us some mean text.
When's the last time he contributed to this show?
I don't know. Did he do it while I was gone?
Isn't that his priority?
It should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's got a career, but that's clearly should be secondary.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, maybe we'll reach out to him and get his take on some mean text. You guys send them in. You still got about 40 minutes to get that done at 866-979-3776. Meanwhile, it's been a while since we've done a version of this, Dave, where we make some predictions.
Can't wait.
Feels like a good time to bust it out. Call it now.
What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
It's time for Wyman and Bob to put their reputations on the line.
I need to know what I stand to win.
Everything. Call it.
This is Call It Now.
Good answer. I like the way you think.
All right. Couple of different questions here for our Call It Now segment. We won't have the answers until after the homestand on some of these, but we'll make these predictions anyway. How about this one first, Dave? 6-game homestand. Mariners win over under 3.5 games on this homestand.
What, are you kidding? I'm going over. Bob, I'm about to get turned.
Things are good when you are turned, man.
The phrase of the week.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I don't know. I mean, this is going to be difficult. I think they'll be able to take two of three from the Diamondbacks. And, I mean, look, I was going on and on about, okay, they played Colorado and San Francisco. That's how they got 11 of 13 of the last wins. Against San Francisco, 22-34. Colorado 20-37. You can make the argument that they did to those teams what they should have done.
Right.
But I'm going to say that, that's really them just feasting on a weak schedule.
Yeah.
So we're going over.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think they're going to.
The Mets are garbage.
The Mets are a bad team. Yeah, they've spent a truckload of money. They're top 5 in payroll in the league, and my goodness, man. They are just a bad, bad team. So, yeah, that's definitely a series you expect to win. This is one I think, this is a good Diamondbacks team. We'll see how much they've been benefited by the schedule. But even their beat writer, who we asked about that, said, ask me in a week if they are a legit, really good team. And ask me in a week.
Is Arenado up?
He's not in the lineup today.
Not tonight. Yeah. I saw he's like day to day.
Yeah, so he's not in their lineup today. So
I enjoy watching him
play. In his prime, hell of a player. So we're both optimistic on that, going the over on 3.5 games on the homestand. How about this? Will the Mariners still be in first place after this homestand?
Yeah, I mean, you got to take a look at the Astros getting hot, and we talked about the last 3 games and that series against the Rangers. I think it was 3 home runs that Yordan Alvarez
hit. I don't know if it was the last year. He had a 3-game stretch where he hit a home run in 3 consecutive games, at least one.
I think it was like 2, 2, and 1 or something. So I think it was 5 home runs.
He's got 20 on the season.
Yeah. So I don't know. What about Jacob Wilson? When's he coming back? He should be able to help the A's tremendously. But yeah, I don't know. I think that they're still going to be in first place.
Yeah, I mean, look, if we're picking them to win at least 4 in this series, then I think they're still going to be there. Now, they've only got a half-game lead on the A's, so we'll see what the A's do in that amount of time. But I'm gonna stick with the optimism, Dave. I'm going to go with yes. They're still going to be in first place.
Yeah, it's one of the – we've talked about this, that, like, this is a launching point. And I thought maybe that home series against the White Sox when they won that last one, that maybe that was the one that where they took off. But – I don't know, beating the A's, that was a pretty good series. I felt really good about that, and that's a good offensive team.
Yeah, it is. That's definitely, especially on the heels of that series, to bounce back. I think the bounce back, you can't overstate how big that was. Feeling bad coming out of that Royals series and then sweeping the team that's in first place in your division. Not just winning the series, but sweeping them and having everything come together the way that it did with the pitching, with the offense. Just
what if the Royals kind of take off from now? Will that lessen the sting, or do you think you're going to be talking about that series?
I'll be talking about it for a while. Okay. Yeah, I feel like the Royals are part of bad series every year.
Yeah,
I feel like and just disappointment. I associate disappointment with that team. How about this, Julio? He currently has 8 home runs in the month of May, which ties a career high for him for home runs in a month. We got three games left to be played in this month.
Mm-hmm.
Does he go over or under 1 home run before June 1st?
Definitely.
To set a new career high.
Definitely over. He's going to hit a bomb or 2.
Bomb or 2 in these next 3?
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think? He's not as good of a center fielder as Robles, but
that's what somebody said today, not named Bob or Dave.
God bless Paul Moyer.
Goodness. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to say he gets 1. I'm going to say he sets a new career high for home runs in a month, and it sets it at 9. So I'm going to say yes. He's going to go.
I wanted to go couple 3, but yeah, a bomb or 2.
Yeah,
as Cash wrote, that's Lefko that's doing it. Bomb or 2. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'll go the over on that since I didn't put it at 1.5. All right, how about this piggyback game? We've been talking all about it. The idea, ideally, is like the last time. You don't touch the bullpen. Yeah. Off day for the bullpen. Your 2 starters handle their business. Mariners on Sunday will go piggyback again. Will they use over, under 1.5 relievers?
Yeah, I'm going to say under. I'm going to say it's going to work, and it's going to baffle everyone, and they're still going to complain about it. And maybe this time Bryce Miller throws his glove in the dugout.
What would that tell you? Once again, communication was not great, or he just knew what was going to happen, but he's still upset about it.
Well, yeah, the latter, definitely.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the over on that. I'm gonna say 2 relievers get used.
Really?
2 relievers, and obviously that's not counting Luis Castillo as a reliever. So yeah, I'm gonna go that route. That's what I'm gonna go with right there. So I'm taking the over on that one, Lefko. Just for record's sake here. Meanwhile, how about stolen bases? Your 2 leaders are Randy Arozarena and not Julio Rodriguez, not Victor Robles, not anybody else you look at that has speed. Josh Naylor. So in this homestand, on this homestand, 6 games, who ends with more stolen bases just in the 6 games? Right now, Randy's got 2 more. He's got 14. Naylor has 12. But
Naylor has 12.
Has 12. So just in these 6 games.
Yeah,
who has more stolen bases between those two?
Remember when he signed here and when we got him in free agency, traded for him, that, we were like, what? Stolen bases? This guy, he can't run, can he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
and what was the official stat? He's like the slowest guy in baseball, just ahead of Alejandro Kirk. Is that?
Yeah, it was something about his sprint speed. It was like the second slowest in baseball, which is his pure sprint speed. Yeah.
I still find that. I mean, Ty France is still in baseball, right? And Ty's not faster than him, is he?
Can you imagine if maybe he wouldn't have developed the sort of slyness that he has on the base paths if he had speed, but the way that he competes out there, and then, you saw him the other day trying to do the arm waving
when he's on second.
That was phenomenal. So, I mean, I think I'm going to go with Naylor, even though Randy's way faster. Is Randy super fast? I feel like in left field,
I think he's got good speed.
It's good speed, but it just seems slower because sometimes of decisions and angles that he takes.
Sometimes he's a lollygagger.
Lollygagger, yeah.
So, I think I would say he's. And look, I don't know his official numbers and where he ranks in baseball. I'd say he's got decent to good speed. I don't think he's a burner per se, but I think he's definitely faster than Naylor.
Yeah. Diamondbacks are out there tossing the football around.
There were some Mariners out here earlier. It's just every single team's got the football.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Randy on this one.
Okay.
I'll go with Randy. You're going with Naylor?
I'm going with Naylor.
Okay. I'll go with Randy on this one. Not because of his speed. He's just been getting on base so much, but so is Naylor. Naylor's been on fire this month. So, that'll be a good one. We'll see what they end up with at the end of the homestand. All right, so Mariner starters will go at least 6 innings in over or under 3.5 of these 6 games.
6 innings.
At least 6 or more.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so rare that you see anybody go to 7, or really even 6. But let's see here, over under 3.5. I'm gonna go under on that one.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. Kirby's going twice.
Yeah,
he's going first and last game, so he'll go tonight, and he's a good candidate to go 6.
Yeah,
maybe you get 2 out of him. I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna say they get 4. 4 of the 6 go at least. Well, we know Sunday the starter's not going to go 6, right? So that eliminates 1.
Yeah,
so that makes it a little tougher. Yeah, I'm still going to go with the over. Still going optimistic, Bob here.
All right.
So 4 of the 6 will go at least 6 innings. 6 innings or more. So
I think we only disagree on a couple. You took Randy, I took Naylor. You're going over. I'm going under on the 6 innings.
Yeah. So we'll see at the end of the homestand. What does it look like? Meanwhile, taking a look at the injury update, Justin Hollander speaking with the media, talking about Cal and his low bleep. Took 30 swings in cages. He's down in Arizona. Took 30 swings, and he'll return to Seattle tomorrow to check in with the team. Justin Hollander's quote, "I think he misses us." Still no timeline, but sounds like he's still roughly a couple of weeks out.
I think he's got a place down there. He bought a place down in Scottsdale, so, he's probably down there just chomping at the bit, though, just waiting to get back up here. That's kind of interesting how they do that. It's like usually in the NFL you're hanging around the team, and that really sucks.
Yeah.
But being away from the team entirely, I would think would be worse.
I think it would be too.
He's probably like a caged cat down there, just waiting to get back up here.
Yeah. Did we not get anything on Donovan? Any update on Donovan?
No, it was very generic. I think Hollander is looking through some tweets from down there. He said he's running and trying to work towards still some pain-free baseball activities, but it doesn't sound like
that doesn't
any
sound
kind
very
of
good.
How's his pelvic thrust?
Must not have a good pelvic floor or whatever that was. Pelvic positioning.
Who did we see yesterday? They're down with, what was it, pelvic inflammation or?
Yeah.
Oh, Kenley Jansen. That's what it was. That's who it was. But
they're making up new injuries, Bob.
I had never heard of that one.
Yeah,
pelvic inflammation. That's not good. So yeah, that doesn't make me feel very optimistic about Donovan.
Here's what it sounds like. I don't believe that this is the quote, or I believe this might be the exact quote, but according to one of the reporters that was down there, per Justin Hollander, Brendan Donovan's progressing well towards pain-free baseball activities. He's currently on a weightless treadmill, and then if things go well and he doesn't have pain, he should continue his baseball running progression the next few days.
Wait, what kind of treadmill?
A weightless treadmill.
Does that mean he's in water? Is that one of those?
I'm getting this third hand, so I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out. I think,
But it doesn't sound like he's close to a return.
I remember doing a workout with like this flotation belt, and then you run underwater just enough to keep your head above.
Yeah.
But that way you're not, pounding on
the joints
treadmill.
and everything. Yeah. Maybe he's doing that in the water.
Because I would worry that he would fall off the treadmill, because that does happen sometimes.
I've heard people have experienced that. And some have lived to tell about it.
Yeah, I was on the treadmill last night, believe it or not, and
does that thought pop in your head when you get on there?
Almost every time. Almost every time. This was 3 or 4 years ago when I was actually running. Now I'm like walking fast.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not doing the speed walking thing. I'm just
you don't have
walking normal.
Arms akimbo?
Yeah, nothing like that.
That's so good. All right, so there's the latest on Cal and Donovan, and it doesn't sound like either are really close. It doesn't sound like, according to Adam Jude, Cal still sounds like he's roughly a few weeks out. Couple of weeks out, and then Donovan, I would say, is easily the same. So yeah, they've been able to survive without those guys. I guess the difference is, and this is not to diminish Cal at all, he hadn't been good pretty much the whole year. I mean, even before he got hurt, he was struggling.
Well, there was that whole 0 for 38 thing.
Yeah,
and then he gets a hit, and then he goes on the IL.
Yeah.
So I think it was just one hit.
He seemed like he had a stretch there where the home runs were coming, and you're like, okay, he's finding his stroke. There we go. And then this crops up again. So I guess the point being, you haven't had good Cal this year, so you're not missing it. Whereas you got Donovan, who was arguably your best hitter.
Yeah.
Certainly to start the year. He just started out red hot, and he was getting on base, and he and Rosarena were your two best hitters in that lineup. So you did have a guy who was producing maybe even more than you expected, and then he's out of the lineup, and he's now been out more than he's been in, certainly. So, yeah, it just, in both cases, it's a bummer. I was hoping to hear a little bit about, they're saying positive things. Hey, they're progressing. He's taking swings. He's on a weightless treadmill. But in terms of them being here, when they hit the road after these 6 games, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Mike asked the question, what about JP, the move over to third, or are things fine, just fine the way they are?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking last night. Like, okay, you're feeling good about this, and I know it's just 3 games, but, you played pretty clean baseball there in Sacramento. Your offense was good. Your defense was good. Your pitching was outstanding. Do you leave it, or do you move? They may have a plan. They may have a timeline behind closed doors that they're talking about, like, hey, by this time we want to have JP at third and have Colt in short. Or maybe they're just like, hey, we love the gesture, and let's get him some work and see how he looks, but we're in no hurry to make that move.
Yeah, no, that might be interesting. Maybe they'll do that for maybe a game or 2 coming up sometime soon, hopefully sooner than later. I'm dying to see JP at third. And, the second he's I don't know. I guess it's more about his throw than it is his ability to
feel the ball.
To feel the ball.
Well, it's not even arm strength. It's not like Polanco when we saw him 3-hop it.
Right.
It's accuracy. Yeah, because he's had his errors have not been because he's got no steam on the ball. He's got no zip. He does.
Yeah.
But it's been errant throws. So. Yeah, does the throw from third, how much does that change for him?
I think it kind of goes back to maybe not, but just as far as the West and being, the leader with a sub 500 record, that it allows you to kind of work on some things. And it's not like you're not trying to win every game, but you're not in some critical situation where you're not going to lose the division. And so it allows you to kind of tinker.
Yeah. I mean, and we've seen him. I didn't see him out here today taking any balls at third, but it'll be interesting to see how aggressive they are with that plan, if it's even part of their plan this year. Maybe they're like, hey, we love the idea that you're on board, and we're certainly going to keep that in mind. But right now, we're good with how things are.
Right.
Which I don't look at JP as a liability out there, but I don't think he's great at short. Again, his range has been cut down. I think he's kind of acknowledging that on some level, but I don't look at him like, hey, you've got a severe problem here. You need to address this right now. Yeah. I mean, and Emerson's playing a great third base. He's playing very well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whether that becomes a priority, something they want to see in this homestand or on the road, I don't know. We'll find out. But that, if and when it happens, it'll be exciting just to see, like, how do they – I think we know what Emerson's going to look like at short. That's his spot. Mm-hmm. He's a very good fielder. I'd be very curious to see JP at third.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, it's been a quiet offseason for the Seahawks, and one person thinks that could be a bad thing. We'll get into that coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from T-Mobile Park at Seattle Sports on 710.
Think you know the Mariners? Not if you aren't subscribed to the Daily Mariners newsletter from Seattle Sports.
That's what they've been waiting for.
The latest Mariners news and injury updates, exclusives from Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
You look at the pieces and how it works.
Plus the best takes and breakdowns from your favorite Seattle Sports hosts and contributors.
The Mariners seem to be trying to build something that I think is a little bit more sustainable.
The Daily Mariners newsletter.
Monster solo home run.
Subscribe at seattlesports.com/newsletter.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here, and you've heard me talk about a local company for over a year now, Harley Exteriors, and I recently sat down with them, and I was really excited to hear about the many Seattle sports listeners they've worked with on window and door replacements, and Harley Exteriors has stepped up with a can't-miss offer. $450 off each new window, $1,000 off each patio door or entry door, 12-month and 18-month, no interest, no payment options, plus $200 off your final project total. If that isn't enough to get you started on your new project, I don't know what is. So do what I did. Schedule a consultation. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Minimum purchase of 4 windows required for window discount. Qualifying windows must be 36 by 36 or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to credit approval. Cannot be combined with other offers outside this promotion. Offer valid through May 31st.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from.
Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Mariners getting set to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Game one of a three-game series coming your way tonight. We'll turn you over to the pregame show coming up at 6 p.m. Before that, at 5:45, we've got mean texts. So get those coming in at 866-979-3776. Sounds like Dave found one he likes.
You got a good one?
Don't read it yet.
Oh, no, I'm gonna sprinkle this one in. The question is for Lefko. Does your mom still bring you a juice pack and granola bar when she picks you up after work?
So you are sprinkling them in now. Okay. Yeah, I wish. Food. That'd be good.
You wouldn't mind that. Thanks,
right.
Mom.
Yeah, as long as it's food.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Get those in. 866-979-3776. Mean text coming up in about 15 minutes from now. Meanwhile, ESPN went through and ranked the best and worst signings for each team this offseason. And here's what they said about the Seahawks. The best re-signing that they had was Josh Jobe, which I know would make you happy, Dave. They said there might have been a real choice at cornerback where Rick Woolen signed a one-year deal for $12 million with the Eagles. I liked that move for the Eagles, but given that the organization seemed to fall in and out of love with Woolen during his time in Seattle, it probably made more sense for the Seahawks to choose their other free agent cornerback instead. Jobe, who coincidentally came to the Seahawks from Philly early in his career, delivered over the past 2 years as a starter. Talks about his passer ratings and coverage. He's not as athletic as Woolen, but Job will be under contract for $9.5 million in 2026 with the team's option to pay him $6.5 million in 2027.
Yeah.
Job can pay that off as a third cornerback, let alone as a starter.
Yeah, I think it's $8 million per year. I think it was a 3-year deal. Our guy Cam Van Til actually wrote an article about this back in when we were down at spring training. But he's a former practice squad guy. He's a John Schneider special. Got him off the scrap heap, right? Mm-hmm. And he was in Philadelphia. He was a practice squad guy. Had an interception and 12 pass breakups in 16 games this past year. And then, if you look at the stats, and I don't know how these are judged, but Job also recorded the 9th lowest opposing completion percentage at 49.5, 13 fewest yards allowed per target, and then the 22nd lowest opposing passer rating out of the 83 cornerbacks who logged at least 500 defensive snaps. So that came from our guy Cam Van Til, SeattleSports.com. But yeah, what my eyes tell me is that he's a very good. One thing I would say about him is he's very calm. That he doesn't panic. And if he gets beat, he just methodically turns his hips, gets back on stride. And I've always thought he was a good player from the time he got here. That's just what my eyes tell me. But also, you look at where he ranks, kind of the numbers, and some of those are a little fishy because you don't know what the coverage is and things like that. But my eyes tell me that he is a really good corner, and you got him for a pretty good deal there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's obviously this guy's who wrote this? Is this Barnwell? Who wrote this?
Oh, Barnwell.
Yeah. So that's his take on their best signing, their worst signing for the Seahawks, not doing more to upgrade the O-line. And he says, with the defense taking hits in free agency and Kenneth Walker leaving for the Chiefs, though I would have liked general manager John Schneider to put a little more into building the line. His only addition was a 5th-round pick, Bo Stevens, adding someone to offer competition for right guard Anthony Bradford, who teams targeted throughout the season or extra depth to help if oft-injured right tackle Abe Lucas doesn't play all 17 games. After doing so for the first time in 2025 would help. But then again, I also said that last year, and it didn't matter.
They also have Josh Jones, who has filled in there. So, as far as tackle goes, because he was talking about Abe Lucas, and I was like, wait, didn't he play every game last year? He did. Yeah. He did, but the 2 prior years, he had 6 games and 7 games. So, but you got Josh Jones. He's played really well. So, I get that. The Bo Stevens thing is maybe a project. I thought in the beginning anyway. He's not super fleet of foot, but they do have Mason Richmond coming back. And Mike, we're going to talk to the Iowa offensive line
George
coach?
Barnett, the offensive line coach, on Monday.
Yeah. So,
Coach Bo Stevens and Mason Richmond.
Yeah, and they put out a lot of good offensive linemen, and Mason Richmond's one of those guys that, again, just my eyes, but I was watching him out at the OTAs, and he just looks faster. He looks better, and what I mean by that, he's playing faster. He's not being slowed down by thinking too much or whatever. Now, they're not in pads, and I'll reserve judgment. Once they get to pads and helmets and start trying to blow people off the ball, that's when you'll be able to tell much more. But there was just kind of that second year jump you saw from him as far as his confidence and just what do you call that? Like you usually say he's very sure about what he's
playing with certainty.
Playing with certainty. Yeah. So that's kind of what you're seeing from him. So there's my argument against that they didn't address that, because those guys are always getting better. Like Mike McDonald always says, they're always available to improve.
What do you think is Christian Haynes still part of the consideration?
It's a great question.
Is he still? That's a 3rd-round pick, and not that he was a 1st round, but that represents a level of belief. That's not, hey, let's take a flyer on this guy in the 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah,
it's a 3rd-round pick, and look, you're not going to hit on everybody, and maybe he's one that doesn't hit, but there was some excitement or some hope certainly attached to his potential and what he could be. And to this point, What's been the problem? Is it
just not? He's just not developing, and I don't know what
is
it
he
is.
Physically getting overmatched when he's in there? Is he?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a guy like that. I would like to see him come back and be like kind of transformed, like physically,
like bigger.
Yeah, like stronger, and he's got kind of skinny legs and a big trunk, and I don't know, he just looks kind of awkward and a little bit top heavy at times. But look, there's all kinds of different. We had a guy that was built exactly like him, and he was fine. It did, it was Edwin Bailey, and he was on the top 50 all-time Seahawks, and
he gets a good parking spot out there when he comes to town, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, our guy Pearl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and I don't know what to say about Christian Haynes. I mean, I liked him coming out of UConn, but he just hasn't really developed yet.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what their level of belief, if they're looking at the depth, and maybe that was, part of the reason they didn't do more than what Barnwell or maybe others thought they should or would like to have seen them do when it comes to the O-line. Now, again, you won the Super Bowl with this O-line.
Yeah.
Right? And that includes Anthony Bradford. And that, so, yeah, you certainly need depth. Guys get hurt. You want to have somebody, if somebody goes down, you want to have that guy ready to go behind them. But I'm just wondering if, you talk about Josh Jones and the other kid who you mentioned, I just blanked on his name. We're going to talk to his coach.
Not that Brown guy again. Oh, no, Mason Richmond?
Yeah.
Mason Richmond was a 7th rounder.
Yeah, so you got those guys, but Haynes is the guy that at one point represented a level of belief that he was going to, I don't know if they thought a starter or certainly maybe a guy that was going to be an impact player. I'm just wondering if they look at him like, hey, he's right there. We're ready for him to take the next step. This is going to be a big year. How do they view him?
Yeah,
I guess is the longer question.
Look, I'm just hoping if you get one of those guys, whether it's Mason Richmond or Christian Haynes, that just all of a sudden takes that jump. And sometimes it takes players. We talked about this before. Everybody's on their own different path. Kind of talked about that a little bit with AB as well. That maybe Anthony Bradford, this is the year where everything clicks for him, and it's just always different for different players. But yeah, to your point, Christian Haynes, he was the second guy they picked in the 24 draft. Byron Murphy in the first round, and then he was the 3rd rounder. And then you got A.J. Barner. You got Tyrese Knight in that draft. So, yeah, it's time for him to step up. I think this is probably the year.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, if you don't make a move here, then we're going to have to put you on practice squad or possibly
move on.
All
right, your last chance to get them in. Mean texts are coming up next, 866-979-3776. We'll get into those as we continue live from T-Mobile Park. It's Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
Have you downloaded the Seattle Sports app?
We're going to have a challenge right here.
What are you waiting for?
Listen to this.
Every pitch.
Here comes the 3-2.
Every game.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
One app for free.
How about that, folks?
The Seattle Sports app. Every game.
Julio racing back.
Right in the palm of your hands.
Makes a leap and makes the catch.
Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
They got it. Wow.
The Seattle Sports app.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Spring Classic collector car, truck, and boat auction. Saturday, June 6th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Up to 200 collector, vintage, and classic vehicles, many going to the highest lucky bidder with absolutely no reserve. Get lucky, get local, and get in line. Visit LuckyOldCar.com for a list and pictures of auction vehicles. Or call 206-467-6531 for bidding and consignment details.
What's better than soaking every night in a saltwater hot spring spa? Knowing you got it for an incredible price. Save up to $4,500 during Olympic Summer to Remember rebate event. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where? Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
Dave Wyman here to talk about a revolutionary treatment for prostate cancer. It's Swedish, called CyberKnife. I want to bring in Dr. Moyer, medical director of the Swedish Radiosurgery Center. Dr. Moyer, what makes Swedish CyberKnife so effective?
The CyberKnife allows us to target prostate cancer with better than 1 millimeter of accuracy. It adjusts for patient motion on the fly in real time, and it avoids giving radiation to other surrounding vital organs. Plus, the treatment can be done in just 5 quick sessions.
I understand it's the most technologically advanced treatment available.
Correct. Plus, the CyberKnife is more affordable, it's less invasive, and has minimal side effects compared to other treatments. Our research shows that after 10 years, more than 90% of patients are free from cancer progression.
To learn more about CyberKnife for prostate cancer, go to swedish.org/CyberKnife prostate, or just give them a call, 206-320-7187.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value, including testosterone, blood sugar, heart health, and more. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends June 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today.
Mariners and Diamondbacks tonight at T-Mobile. 7:10 first pitch. Pregame at 6. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals, and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack and a $6 Biggie Bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie Bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. You can't rely on guesswork to run your business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Empower your team today. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Wyman and Bob.
From the
Are the Mariners turning the corner at the right time?
They did that without two of their best players.
Right. This is where you come for the games, the conversation, and the insider access.
I feel like we'll have a really good team. There's plenty of time to build on it.
The home of the Mariners.
First place in the AL West.
Seattle Sports.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000. Use code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Do you have a car, truck, or SUV you're willing to sell? How about an RV or commercial vehicle? Wayscar Ford in Auburn will buy it from you. And when they resell your old vehicle, they'll split the profit with you 50-50. That's right. You'll get paid twice. I'm here with Mark Clymer of Wayscar Ford. Mark, I'm not surprised your vehicle profit sharing program's doing well. It's a fantastic offer.
It sure is, Stacy. We've been buying a lot of cars off this thanks to your advertising. And I got to tell you, customers are loving it. They're getting top dollar for their vehicle up front. They're getting paid right now. And the best part is when we resell that vehicle, they're getting 50% of the profit. A lot of people have vehicles right now that are sitting around and they're worth a lot of money, and they're saying, you know, what the heck? I want to sell it. I don't want to deal with it myself, but I don't want to give it away either. This is the perfect opportunity for them to get the most they can for the car without having to go through the hassle of selling it themselves.
Exclusively at Wayscar Ford.